The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Detroit.
Football week in Michigan is in full swing. The first of 8 state final games kicks off at Ford Field on this early Friday morning. There is some nervousness, there is some great anticipation, and there is a focus to be called a state champion. The first of 8, but the first of 4 on this Friday on Fox Sports Detroit pits Breckenridge and Reading. Hi, everyone. Alongside my partner, former Lions tight end Rob Rubick, I'm Matt Shepard. A lot to boast about with this Breckenridge club, but especially its defense. 8 shutouts on the year leading into the finals. What makes them so tough, Rubes?
Well, they're very stingy. You pointed out by how many points they've allowed, but it all starts up front. They got just 2 outstanding defensive linemen. When you look at Ramirez and Reed, they're at that first level, Shep, and if you happen to get by them, then you got to deal with Hunter Smith at the linebacker position, and then in the secondary, Lucas Ebright is a ball hawk. They just stifle teams. I talked to Coach Olson in Ishpeming, and they beat Ishpeming 12-0 last weekend. Yeah. To shut out Ishpeming at the Dome in Marquette is a tough task, so this defense is more than ready for the Rangers of Reading here today.
Yeah, they've allowed just 18 points in the playoffs so far this season. They will be tested by this Reading offense because they can beat you in a number of different ways, led by Lepresto, their tailback.
Well, Lepresto has rushed over 2,200 yards this year. They're going to use him in different situations. You're going to see him with the jet sweep. They're going to run him in the counter. They'll run him straight out of the backfield, but he really makes things go. But Alex Price, the quarterback, he's very efficient if he needs to throw, so they're not going to be up against the wall. If somehow Breckenridge loads the box and forces them to pass the ball, I think Reading would be all right in the passing game as well.
Still, where they make their money is on the ground. Averaging 400 yards per game on the ground so far are the Reading Rangers. This one figures to be strength against strength. The Huskies, they're not afraid to put it in the air, but they know that the Rangers are there to defend as well. The Division 8 kickoff comes your way next on Fox Sports Detroit.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played. We are responsible for helping MHSA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stands should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers, helping student athletes develop,
while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them. The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports,
while keeping a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
For more information about the Student Advisory Council, visit our website at
MHSA.com.
Looking for an amazing deal this holiday? Then don't miss the Xfinity Black Friday sale. With the ultimate in-home Wi-Fi experience from America's best internet provider and Xfinity X1, which lets you find Netflix and coming soon, Amazon Prime Video with just your voice. Sign up through November 27th and get a $100 prepaid card. It's simple, easy, awesome.
Get Xfinity TV and internet with up to 150 megabits per second download speed and HBO included for a year. Plus, get $100 back. Hurry, click, call, or visit us today.
There's certain guys we say in the locker room, they're going to ball till they fall.
As a journalist, I try to be ahead of the conversation.
You're trying to zig when everyone else is zagging?
We want easy villains and easy heroes.
You got to earn this.
You eat what you kill.
Frankly, I've been killing it because I'm eating a lot.
Speak for yourself. Weekdays at 3 Eastern on FS1 and watch anywhere on the Fox Sports app.
We gather under hazy night. Rain or shadow cast and floodlights applaud for this padded battle. And brothers suit up in armor and dance with the gridiron in unison under the spotlight, holding up their team, careful not to let them fall. Brotherhood is an equal effort, a give and take. If there is a single wrong beat, there's a chance of being consumed by flames or being devoured by an opponent's rabid will. What you don't see is a season of long days, aching muscles drenched in sweat. What you don't see is the bone-shattering stomps of triumph, followed by slow grind and hard fall before any confetti can shower. What you get is glory mixed with unforgivable pain, a feeling you chase for the rest of your life. Brotherhood is equal effort, arm for arm, heart for heart.
And every soul on this field has a story to tell. Tied to one another by battle cry, this game is a rite of passage, a test of loyalty to self,
to team. In the heat of adversity,
this knife can turn blisters into gold.
Turf and the sanction, cleats from dirt razors, and to Hermes winged boots.
And we all could fly. You could feel it by the thunder.
Goosebumps, and so true as well. Game of football is unlike any other where you rely so heavily on so many. We rely on Tori Petrie, is the third member of our broadcast team today. Happy belated Thanksgiving. Hi, Tori.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Matt, the people of Breckenridge wanted to send their football team off with a bang this morning. They hosted a tailgate at local watering hole and shoots at 5:30 a.m. Fans showed up to have breakfast and send the team off on the team buses to Ford Field. The restaurant even provided each player with a breakfast sandwich to fuel them up for today's game. They tell me pretty much everybody from Breckenridge is at the game today, except for the owners of Anschutz. They're hoping to have a victory party there later on today. Back to you.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of people there no matter what, because they've got a lot to celebrate and a lot to be thankful for. Their team 13-0, champions of the Mid-State Activities Conference. The Breckenridge Huskies wear white with blue helmets. The Reading Rangers also 13-0. Wearing red and yellow on this Friday morning. Breckenridge led by Chris Robinson in his 6th season. And he told us earlier, it's not me who's evolved, our whole staff has evolved. And for the Reading Rangers, it's Rick Bailey. Been there, done that, Rob Rubik, but to be here in this moment, still pretty darn special. First ever finals.
Yeah, he's gone through a tough schedule to get here, taking out Whitford Lake White. They came in here, Shep, and that was a huge test for them. To get by them, undefeated team as well, I think he's more than ready. And this is a team with Reading today that can put a lot of points on the board, but it's a great matchup because on the other end, you got Breckenridge who gives no points, so we should have an outstanding game. Division 8 is underway. Taken by an up man at the 30-yard line and wrecked at the 40. Gerald Fitzgerald hits his team good field position. And that is where Carter Staley and the Breckenridge offense will try and take flight. And here's what he's done so far this season, a nice balance. Yeah, he has the ability to run the ball, throw the ball, and that's what you want to see. Most offensive coordinators, when you have balance, you like it because you're tougher to defend. You can't load up the box, or you just can't play coverage. Hunter Collins is his lone setback. And Collins gets the call. Tough sled. Nick Affolter, the first one to make contact. A gain of 2. Breckenridge up front averages 6'2", 235 pounds. Corbin Reed, probably their most physical mauler, but Shriver Miller might be their best overall offensive lineman. The skill positions are aplenty. And you'll see Lucas Ebright, who leads them in receiving, but also run the football a little bit. A pitch to Ebright. The Reading defense is a good one, giving up under 8 points per game, 6 shutouts on the year, only allowed 240 yards total rushing during the regular season. Caleb Miller is their best pass rusher. Ben Affolter is their leading tackler. And Cole Boyd leads them in interceptions. Another pitch. This one's going backwards. short one, so I had the beard defended very well. We're going to take a look here. This is the outside veer. It's taken up at the point of attack, forcing the pitch. There's a man-on-man. And when you defend any type of veer option type of offense, it's all about assignments. Have someone on dive, have someone on cue, and have someone on pitch. And that time, Reading had to defend it.
Look for Staley to punt it away. Floats out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. The Reading defense did its job, and now it's up to Alex Price and the Reading offense to do what they do so very well. They average 50 points per game. And Alex Price, Rob Rubik, can run the football, but like his counterpart, Carter Staley, has a nice balance of throwing it too.
Well, he's a pretty dynamic runner. You know, talking to Coach Rick Bailey, he really likes his quarterback. He's very in the pocket. He doesn't get flustered at all, can run the ball, and he's capable of throwing if need be, and that's what we talked about in the open.
Ethan Lepresto, their main ball carrier. But again, Breckenridge's defense so very good, boasting big-time numbers. The offensive line for Reading averages 6'3", 250.5 pounds. If they need a sure yard, they'll run behind their right guard, Nick Affolter. His brother, Ben, is their best receiver, a converted offensive lineman to tight end. And we talked about Ethan Lepresto, the amount of yards, over 2,200 strong. Price will keep it himself and get past the 30 to the 31. Tackle made by Hunter Smith, their all-state linebacker. Up front, a really good one. And they're really stingy. As we mentioned, just 18 points allowed in the postseason. Carter Staley, who plays quarterback, also outside linebacker with Hunter Smith. And then Lucas Ebright has 9 interceptions on the year. Lepresto didn't get it. Corbin Reed at the bottom of that pile.
That's just an inside zone run that time, and not much there. And if you're going to stop the zone, if you can get people to bubble, if you can get your defensive linemen to get push inside, as we're going to see here, a nice job getting off the block, see him get in the hole that time. Really good effort by Spencer Ramirez, number 71. Shedding, getting in, altering the path of the back. Lepresto, thus you get a 1-yard gain, puts him in a 4th down and 1, and looks like Reading may go for it here. Could be the hard count situation as well.
Full house backfield. Gonna be tough. Elijah Strine was hit at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be Breckenridge flexing their 4th down muscle on defense.
One of the most difficult things for a lot of coaches in a situation where you've had your way all year, in short yardage situations, you're able to get that 1 or that 2 yard, or you're up against another team that made it to the state finals in Breckenridge, and they've had the same success the other way, not allowing those 4th down and 1s on 3rd and 1, and that time the immovable force could not be moved, and that was a defensive front of Breckenridge. So what a stop, flips the field. Now, Breckenridge offense will struggle a little bit on the first possession, works with a short field.
We'll take over first and 10.
Collins to the line of scrimmage. Breckenridge pitched a shutout in the semifinals, beating Harbor Beach 12-0. That Ishpeming win, very impressive, because everybody knows about the historical significance of the Hematites and just how good they are. The road to the finals brought to you by IEDEW Local 58.
When Coach Bailey decided to go for it for Reading, it shows confidence to me 2 ways. One, in your offense, you're going to get it. But 2, if you don't, that your defense can hold. So to him, this is what he's doing. He's putting his defense kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit to see if they respond.
Stutter step move. And for the edge. And a nice gain for Cameron Valliere. Here's how Reading got to Ford Field. Last 2 games combined, folks. This Reading Ranger club won 92-0, including a 38-0 pitching shutout of Holton in the semis. Rob talked about that Ottawa Lake Whiteford win, and then to meet the Detroiters as well was pretty impressive. The 3rd down play now coming up for Breckenridge.
It's funny, you see both these teams, they try to attack the edge. They're used to having their way on the edge with speed, but you're putting another team with great speed outside as well.
Little reversal. But Ebright's got nowhere to go.
One of the reasons that didn't work as well is you really haven't established a play side running game. It's going to obviously start to the left. You're going to hit Ebright coming back on the right. But when you haven't established it and you get penetration inside like we just saw there, that's big Nick Affolter pushing back and makes Ebright bubble. It allows everyone else to read it easier, flow, and get there on the backside counter.
Nice job by Caleb Miller to hold the edge as well.
You can see it in the air for the first time today. You got an empty set.
Nope, it's a quarterback keep up the middle. And has the first down. Good call.
Yeah, good call and well designed. What you're going to see an empty set. They motion across to pull the linebacker. You see Affolter 44 kind of widens when the motion goes by him, and that creates a natural seam right up the middle for the quarterback draw.
Good block by Corbin Reed, 50 in white right up the middle. Reed got to that 2nd level. And now Staley with a fresh set of downs.
It's going to punch him in the face game, huh?
Yeah, it is. I like it.
Yards are at a premium.
Ben Affolter breaking through and a quarterback sack, if you will.
Now look at him. That's a full-grown man.
That is a big boy.
That I don't know his parent between Ben and his brother, also Nick. That's about 550 pounds that you got to feed every day. That mom spends a lot of time at Kroger.
Yes, she does. Dad's got to take those overtime shifts. Right. Not today, though. They're here in full force. Empty set. Throwing for the first time. Ebright. Good job to stop and start again, to shimmy his way inside the 15.
Well, look at nice job looking down the field by Staley. Everyone's running go routes. They're just clearing out, and then you just leak Ebright in the fat after you've run off the entire defenders. You can see people just look at the receivers. Just going to get down the field here, and it's going to open it up in the flat. Let it go. They get him out of there. You bring the back out, the linebacker who gets caught up looking at the 3 receivers, a trip to his side. He's trying to get underneath coverage a little bit, and that opens it up in the flat for the back. Well designed again.
Breckenridge looking for their first 3rd down conversion of the day. Staley still has it. And they'll be well shot. Damon Black on the tackle.
4th and 3. Last time we saw him go empty with a little bit of motion, stretch that linebacker, pull him outside, and he ran the quarterback keep back up inside. Now Reading has seen that once. Let's see if they adjust and make the proper adjustment to take that away. It was that same formation. They took Valliere, number 1, and moved Valliere in motion last time.
Across the middle, wide open, touchdown, Breckenridge.
Well, you're going to get a look. They're going to run right there and get right down the middle of the field in the seam, and he gets lost. The linebackers lose him, and he just sits wide open. No one there for Hunter Collins. Normally in the backfield, they just leak him right down the seam. And what happens is you're flooding people vertically. You're stretching them side to side. You're getting all your receivers running down the field, and as soon as one of those safety Shep runs or leans to one side or the other on those verts, it leaves the inside vert open.
Breckenridge is used to dominating the opening quarter. They lead at 6-0. Hunter Collins for the touchdown grab.
Gotta make it happen. Yeah, you do. You got it. You got it.
You ready, Darius?
Let's do it. Anybody want an autograph?
Autograph? We're here for the stuffed crust pizza.
Stuffed crust pizza? Hey, who do you think you are? End of the line, pal.
Flavor fanatics love stuffing their faces with our stuffed flavored crust. Get one for only $2 more on any large original round pizza.
Hungry? Howie's! For Breckenridge, they dominated the first quarter throughout the season, outscoring their opposition 130-6. Tori Petrie rejoins us. Tori.
Thank you so much, Matt. Guys, you might not know where the towns of Reading and Breckenridge are at, but let's give you a little scene set of these two very small towns for you. Breckenridge is up there a little bit west of Saginaw, and Reading is down there near Hillsdale. These are very small towns. Breckenridge has about 1,300 people. Reading has about 1,000. I talked to the head coach at Breckenridge, and he says that he's known most of these guys since they were in 6th grade. His offensive coordinator has known them since they were in K-5. They're both PE teachers. He says that's how you build team chemistry in small towns. You just get these guys to know each other and build a brotherhood. Matt?
Yeah, they've done a nice job of that. Chris Robinson has a member on his staff. His JV coach runs the grocery store in town. It's called Siler's Market. That is small town, hometown kind of stuff. Good stuff. Thanks, Tori. Good scoring drive for Chris Robinson's team.
You know what else is good stuff? The way they designed that play. They went a 3-by-2 empty set. They motioned from the 2 side. They had 4 receivers on the 1 side. Breckenridge was in man. The problem is when the receiver went motion, the man who had him in coverage never went. So now you have 3 guys covering 4. 1 ran free. Nice job finding him in the end zone by Carter Staley.
Now Grant Willman will kick it away. Reading will try to get it into the hands of Ethan LaPresto. Here's 20 in red. And he will field it right up the belly. Past the 35 to about the 38-yard line or so. MHSA football is presented to you by Baker College.
We saw in that opening drive by the Rangers what concerned Coach Bailey the most, and I asked him about this defense. He said, you know, their ability to stop people, they don't allow sustained drives. They're very big and athletic up front, and they create TFLs, tackle for losses, a lot by getting penetration. We saw that in the opening drive. Also did a nice job on 4th downs. They went 2 for 2 on that 4th down situation. A little jet sweep for Reading. David Bignell, the junior, gets about 5 or so.
David Bignell, on carry. David's third on the play, 2nd and 4.
They give him 6. It's a 2nd down and 4 situation for Reading. LaPresto got the edge. And a 1st down.
Well, actually, I thought Lepresto really didn't press the hole. It looked like they were running a little bit. We'll come right here. Pause it right now. Pause it. This block is being kicked out. I thought he had the opportunity to cut up to here, but realizing how fast he is, he bounces it. Because Affolter was trying to kick the defensive end out, but he was tied up with Affolter, and this allowed Lepresto to get to the edge.
Tyler Story shoved him out of bounds. But Reading is on the Breckenridge side of the 50. Lepresto again. This time he does cut it up. Stays on his feet and then drilled at the 45. Did gain 3 after the tackle made by Hunter Smith.
We'll get another look here. This is the power read play. They just ride him and look. The quarterback, if the end steps out, he can always pull it. But that time when the end squeezes down, he gives it. But this defense is faster than I thought we would see. I knew they're going to be physical up front, but they run well side to side. And look at that face mask. It looks like somebody out of Gladiator or Mad Max.
I love it, yeah. 158 tackles on the year from Hunter Smith. That senior is a one-man wrecking crew. Second down and long. Fumble, but pick back up on the bounce.
Well, Lepresto gets an advantageous hop here. This ball is dropped on the high snap, and it just bounces right back up Doonan. Ethan tries to make the best out of a bad situation. He's able to pick up maybe a yard. Now, this is the 3rd and 7 we talked about. Alex Price has the ability to throw the ball. Now, let's see here. He'll probably be tested. You're on the plus side of 50. But I also understand that if you're Coach Bailey, you say, okay, it's 3rd and 7. We have 2 plays. We went through it on our own 30-yard line. We're definitely going to go 4 downs here.
Anthony Willoughby is in at tailback. Price wants to throw down the middle and off the fingertips and incomplete. Intended for Ben Affolter.
That's a big man rumbling down the field. And it's kind of ironic. Coach Bailey said, of all my guys that catch the ball, when we have to throw the ball, Ben Affolter has the softest hands, even though he's the biggest of all our receivers. This is a nice job. Drop back. You see the play action. Step back. Affolter has his hand up. Ball is slightly high, but that's definitely catchable. And as a big guy, as a tight end, former tight end myself, I like the ball high. It's much easier because it's right in your line of sight. And Ben wish he had that one back.
High snap. Caleb Miller almost had it blocked. Good punt, and they deaden it at the 1-yard line. Good coverage downfield by Cole Boyd, and an even better punt. Punting Caleb Miller.
Touchdown Falcons! In the end zone with a...
The people who do more deserve more. More affordable options for everyone. More access on your own terms. And more coverage wherever you go. That's what we give the people and businesses in Michigan, because we believe it's time for more.
Some people think it's just heating and cooling. We know it's more than that. Over 30 years of being family-owned gives you a sense of pride in what you do, and more importantly, who you're doing it for, our customers. Get our complete home comfort package, a 95% efficient furnace, air conditioner, Wi-Fi thermostat, humidifier, and air cleaner, installed with payments as low as $54 a month, with up to $1,500 in cash back.
Go with the name you know.
USA High School Football Finals on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by Kroger, the official sponsor of Football Week in Michigan, and by your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Alongside Rob Rubik, Tori Petrie, our entire Fox Sports Detroit crew, I'm Matt Shepard. Glad you're with us for the Division 8 bragging rights state championship game. Breckenridge and Reading. Breckenridge 13-0 and leading it 6-0. Reading, the Rangers, 13-0.
He's spreading them out. Coach Robinson's had success with his empty set look with some motion.
Staley pump fakes. And he's sacked in the end zone. And a strip sack, too, and it's Caleb Miller. Touchdown, Elijah Strine.
An interesting call. Coach Robinson rolls the dice. He goes empty. He fakes a little bubble. He wants to go one-on-one to the one-side receiver, but it wasn't breaking open yet. In that situation, Carter Staley, if it's not there on your side, you got to just tuck and get up the field because you're in no man's land when you're in that end zone about 3 yards deep, especially with the penetration that Reading has gotten, and now they're lining up to go for 2.
LaPresto. Got it. Caleb Miller was the punter. He's the one who pinned them at the 1, and he's the one who made the strip sack, too.
Yeah, and that's just an ISO. You go on a full house tee, you give it to the backside halfback, the fullback, and the left halfback are just going to lead through the hole. And actually, the first defender on the spot almost beat the block and caused the play to break down, but LaPresto was able to make a nice little bounce outside. 2-point conversion. Man, this game turns quickly.
What a swing of emotion, huh?
It's one that Chris Robinson right now is saying, man, I'd like to have that one back, but what is done is done. We're going to get the ball back offensively and see what they can do. They put one drive together at the short field. After the 4th down stop, to see the Huskies can get it going again. That's tough, Shep, because you're playing against a very high-powered offense. You hate to give them defensive points as well. You want to just try to hold your serve with the ball. Nothing wrong with punting or kicking the extra point, where we say kicking after every possession is not bad. Possession, extra point, field goal, or punt.
That means you're not turning it over.
Not turning it over. In that time, they not only turned it over, they gave up points with the turnover instantly.
Caleb Miller will kick it away. Lucas Ebright and Hunter Collins are back deep for Breckenridge. Brendan Wozlowski tackled at the 42. Good starting field possession here for Breckenridge after surrendering the lead.
We talked in our open a lot about the Breckenridge defense, and rightly so. And you kind of alluded to the fact that Reading's pretty good as well. And, you know, Mike Brad, our statistician, just gave me a little thing. 3 tackles for loss already, and a quarterback sack and a strip fumble for this Reading defense early on here in the first quarter. So they're getting into the backfield. So if that's the case, how do you offset that? That's what Chris Robinson has to be. Okay, they're getting penetration. How can we counter that? What plays do we have to kind of make them pay for what they're doing?
Staley dropped for another loss. Nick Affolter made the tackle there. Staley still has it. There's room on the edge. Nice move by Ebright. Shoved out of bounds at the Reading 46. A gain of 12.
This is a really neat play. Ebright ends up getting the ball. He's going to be the pitchback. Watch this. Ebright, I believe, is right here. He's going to start coming this way, but as the ball comes back, he motions back and becomes the pitch man. So they run it. Here he comes like on a reverse. Now come this way and become the pitchback. After the defense thinks there's no pitchback available, well-designed play.
Should be the final play of the quarter. A reverse. Flag on the play.
Oh,
Okay, red cap. On the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the ball. Replay, first down. Okay.
We played one of the Division VIII state championship game here at Ford Field. Each team's defense, tough to move. Key plays on a turnover that have allowed the Rangers of Reading to take an 8-6 lead as we head to the second on Fox Sports Detroit.
Watch out! In the end zone, touchdown! Whoa! What a play!
Here's what's happening Saturday starting at 10 a.m. during Football Week in Michigan.
Dear Dr. Adams, a year ago I met you. A CAT scan showed a spot on my lung. It was cancer. I was never scared because I knew I was in God's hands. And through Him, you were guided. I wasn't just another patient, but one you had love for. I will always be grateful. Love, Mary Kay Bailey. I love you.
I'm Warren Birkenhauer, proud IBEW member. My career began as a non-union electrician. I love the work, not the pay and the lack of benefits. When I joined the IBEW, my life changed. Now I earn great wages, benefits, and I'll be able to have a good retirement. I can take care of my family the way I want to, and that matters to me. The IBEW's made a huge difference in my life. If you're a good electrician looking to get paid what you're actually worth, then there's room for you in the IBEW.
Anyone can deliver a box, but when you consider the source, no matter how you get your groceries, only Kroger can bring you the fresh, delicious food and quality products you already know and love. So check out while you're chilling. Shop online today.
Get ready for Sunday. Lions Game Plan on Fox Sports Detroit.
Lions Game Plan, Thursday on Fox Sports Detroit.
No better way to celebrate your post-Thanksgiving Day feast with a mountain full of football here on Football Week in Michigan on Fox Sports Detroit. Tori Petrie's on the sidelines. Tori?
Matt, we just saw that defensive score from Reading. Well, this defense has a nickname. They call themselves the Land Sharks. That's because they swarm to the football. It's a moniker that's patterned after something that Ole Miss does. They really love that nickname around here. As you can see, the fans are really embracing it with the Shark hats. Matt?
It's kind of their identity and how they want to play is what they've said. Yeah, Land Sharks defense, and the kids have bought in. So to Tori's point, you see a lot of the Shark heads throughout Ford Field. All day for Staley, and then down he goes. Caleb Miller dragged him down. 99 in red has been really good so far.
I think this is a little bit more of a coverage sack because Staley did initially have time to look from behind as he drops back. The ball fake, set. You got to get it out, and they can't get it out. In that situation, a quarterback a little more experienced in the passing game would probably just step up into the pocket. The pressure was coming from the edge. Let the pressure run by you. Staley decides to try to get the edge, and Miller just too good of an athlete on the edge to allow him to get outside, break contain, and extend the play.
So now they had to run a play at the end of that first quarter because there was a penalty prior to. So now they'll start the second quarter here. And here's your statistics from that first quarter.
Well, really the one that matters the most, if you look at this.
That turnover.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That one turnover which led 2 points for Reading. They gave their first touchdown, Shep, and then they obviously got the 2-point conversion. That gives them an 8-6 lead. Pretty even.
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty evenly matched so far.
Two really good teams.
Yeah, two good, solid defense. The offenses are just trying to probe their way around and find their way. Chris Robinson seems, the head coach of Breckenridge, has already kind of opened it up more, looking for something that he can get, because this defense is killing them up front.
Hey, fans, help us decide who wins the Football Week in Michigan photo contest presented by Kroger and $2,500 in cash. Head over to foxsportsdetroit.com to see the top 10 finalists and tweet to vote for your favorite photo once a day. The voting period ends on Sunday. And on Sunday, we'll also be looking forward to the Legacy All-Star game in Brighton. Rob Rubick and I will have that broadcast at 12:30 on Fox Sports Detroit.
I like it. The chance to see a lot of these kids that you don't hear about. They're not your 4- and 5-star players, but they're the ones that definitely have an opportunity to go on and play collegiately.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. Hunter Collins, not excited to see Caleb Miller. Not many people would be. That defensive end, punter, and a whole lot more for Reading has really stood out today, Bruce.
Yeah, they have. And it's a situation that if I'm Chris Robinson, I quick kick it. I do shotgun to my quarterback, just have him punt it one way or the other. You're a 3rd down and a mile. You're not a passing team.
You're saying you'd do that now?
Right now, 3rd down.
Wow.
I would back my quarterback up and pooch it instead of risking a negative play or a turnover.
Hunter Collins gets up to the 35, and now a 4th down situation.
And the reason is, Matt, now they're going to punt, but they're going to be 2 guys back. 1 or 2 guys back to return it. If you quick kick it in that situation, you might get it rolled down inside the 20, 15-yard line. Your chance of picking up that 3rd down and what was it, 30, is probably 1%, if that. I would have pooched it, but that's just me, and I'm not good enough to be here coaching like Coach Robinson and Coach Bailey.
You're not 13-0 this year?
It's easy to coach up here.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm 13-0 too, but I don't have to face kids or a fan base the following day. It's kicked out of bounds. And they'll mark that at the 41, 42 or so of Breckenridge.
Let's watch this red swarm here today of Reading. They've been all over the field. They've been getting penetration at the defensive front has been a big thing. Getting in the backfield. Ben Affolter doing a nice job. Once again, getting inside. Brother Nick Affolter, 55. They're just everywhere. Caleb Miller getting the sack. They're fast, they're physical, and they're big. And that's a really tough combination when you're facing any defense. If they're just a bunch of big fellas, maybe use your speed to get around them. Sure. Man, they can run. And I talked, Coach Robinson. I said, what scares you? Overall team speed with a big Q. But defense, he said, they are so big up front, they just create a lot of problems bubbling in your plays.
And now Reading has just half a field with which to work before they take the timeout, though. They will want to talk over their best offensive strategy with Rick Bailey at the helm. Like on the back of Alex Price's jersey, number 8. This is the Division 8 state championship. And right after this, Warren De La Salle looks to defend their championship against Muskego Mona Shores. 2 very good football teams. They're all good at this time of the year. You know about Montague and Jackson Lumen Christi if you've followed our coverage on Fox Sports Detroit over the years, because those 2 boast a lot of championships. Jackson Lumen Christi has 10. And then it's Chelsea and Edwardsburg to finish up the night.
And I know a lot of people have already crowned Jackson Lumen Christi king because of the season they've had and the way they've rolled people. Don't count out Montague. This Montague team, they lost twice during the year. But they lost to Portland, who's in the Division 5 championship game. And they lost to, I believe, Reed City, who was in the Division 5 quarterfinals and got knocked out. So their 2 losses, if you such thing, are quality losses.
I think
they played really well. Yeah. And they beat a Traverse City St. Francis team, which my boy Kevin, who's with me here today, watches very closely. And he said they were loaded, and Montague was able to beat them.
Ethan Lepresto, the lone tailback. They'll swing it out. A well-designed play on first down for Reading as they get it into the hands of Dawson Centur. A gain of 7.
You can take a look at the receivers. It's just going to be a stock block on the edge by Ben Affolter, 44, and he gets just enough to create a seam. Now, you'd like to be a little bit more, have work up the field, make the defender go to the high side. This allows Lepresto to come underneath, but he got enough of them to help create a 7-yard gain.
Lepresto, first down, he gets all the way to the 3rd level. Starting to move some bodies up front there.
Well, and there's the quickness that we knew Lepresto had. This is going to be just an inside, I believe it's an inside zone. And a nice job stepping and showing his quickness, getting into the seam. Actually, Nick Affolter, he was kind of stepping to the left, kind of man on, getting a gap to your left in the zone run game, and there was no one there, so he just turned up, and Lepresto really hit that one quickly.
Lepresto second in the state a year ago in the 100-yard, or 100-meter, and second in the 200-meter as well. A A first down reverse. Good job by Breckenridge to sniff it out, and they stifle Hunter Midgard.
Hunter Midgard is the ball carrier. Lost loose on the stop for the Huskies. Second and 10.
Price will throw it on a slant route. Caught inside the 20 for a first down. Boy, that was a bullet, and Santur with solid hands to gain 16.
When we take a look, they're end up getting a slant route here on the outside. They're going to leak the back in the flat and come down inside. Let it go. A nice job by Price, waiting. The back holds the corner a little bit, opens it up, makes it a little bit easier throwing. The safety did not come down quite quick enough. Inside position. This is well executed. And a nice catch. Anytime, Shep, if you can do that type of execution, Santur, nice job catching the ball. Look at him there. It's tough to defend. The coverage is pretty good. The ball was just thrown better.
This was a good read, too, by Alex Price. Lepresto bouncing it out, cutting it in, spinning his way inside the 5.
That's a counter play we've seen a few times. Some people think it was a reverse, but it's just going to be a counter. Inside, you're going to pull. You see the jet motion going the opposite way. And if you watch the offensive lineman, even though the jet motion is going to the right, the linemen on the right are pulling to the left. That will take you to the football. And that time, on the counter back inside, he cut it beside the kickout block. A nice job by Lepresto.
Give it to him again. Still on his feet. Sniffing the goal line. Actually, that was Anthony Willoughby.
This is just straight ahead, some penetration literally up front. Nice job of the big guy bringing him down inside. Breckenridge being tested. I think that was Hunter Smith who was hanging on for his life. The linebacker had filled. Look at this view. Love this view. I love the sky cam. Offside, I think, on the defense. I think it kills the play.
Encroachment on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Replay, second down.
In high school, if you're in the zone or you step across, there's no getting back. It's automatically killed.
Not like in college.
Right, and we're going to see it right here, it looks like to me, where the offside is. Sky Cat's cool.
Love the Sky Cat. Strine. A yard loss.
Spencer Ramirez is going to be the right DT, I believe. We're going to look from the end zone. He's right here. Watch the penetration. Watch how he blows this play up. Let it go. Just gets into the backfield, splits the center and the guard, gets penetration. If you want to stop any short yardage play, you get one of your DTs into the backfield. It makes everything change. The path has to change quickly. It slows it down and allows everyone else to come in and make the play.
Really good at getting low leverage. 3rd and goal from the 1. Lepresto. Oh, wow. Another play by Ramirez. Tough to handle inside.
You're just seeing a man-child now. Number 71, Ramirez, right here. You're going to see the penetration come right through this seam. Let it go. And when you do this, they're gapped in the center. Affolter can't handle them. Rather, Damon Black, number 54, my bad. And he did a good job of getting in there, Shep, and getting into the seam. So you either now, if they do that, you're going to have to maybe go off tackle more, block down, down, down.
Or roll the pocket.
Or roll the pocket. Right. Use that gap line alignment against him. Make it an easy block for your guard who's outside him. What a stand this would be.
For the edge. Lunging. Got it. Midgard for 6.
We're going to get a look from the sky cam. I want you to watch. I mean, they're bringing everyone, backs, tight ends, aunts, uncles. Everyone's coming out here. Watch this. Look at the convoy of red shirts leading the way. And that's just patience, nice running, getting to the edge by Hunter Midgard. Seriously, who wasn't pulling on that play?
Well, they realize they're not going to run up the gut, but they can throw it up the middle for a 2-point conversion.
Well, you've run. You've hit him inside, off tackle. You've run edge. All you got to do is a little bit of play action, Shep. Find the big tight end, Ben Affolter, leaking into the middle. Really well executed. And right now, Reading is rolling here at Ford Field.
Do you hear that?
No.
It's quiet. Too quiet. Xfinity Home cameras.
Xfinity Home gives you an extra pair of eyes to help watch over your family. Plus, you have added peace of mind from 24/7 professional monitoring. Xfinity Home. Simple, easy, awesome.
Play along with America's favorite house hunters.
This is incredible.
Match the house.
I want either a Craftsman or a Cape Cod.
With the hunters.
Oh, wow.
There's only one winner.
I think we found our winner.
Get ready for House Hunters, the home version. Weeknights at 10 on HGTV.
This program brought to you by Cadillac of Novi. Online, CadillacofNovi.com.
And they've jumped on top by 10 now here in the second quarter of the Division 8 state championship game. Hunter Midgard on the ground, his 6th rushing touchdown of the year. It capped off a 9-play, 50-yard drive in which they used a little bit more than 5 minutes. I'll tell you who was really big. Dawson Santour on that drive. Not just the key catch, but made a really nice block on an edge run.
That's why I love working with you, Chef. You see the little things. You see the stock block outside. And people who've ever tried the stock block, it's one of the most difficult things because it's such a long block. You have to stay up, stay on for so long. And I always taught my sons and anyone else that would coach or actually listen to me is just get up there. You don't have to hit them. Wait. Stand there like you're in basketball, like you're covering a point guard. Sooner or later, that guy has to commit, go one side. Then once he goes, then you get in, and then you ride him and stay on.
Yeah, what do you always say? Not every great block is a pancake block.
No, a lot of good blocks are just getting in the way.
And that was a good shot right there of Dawson Santour, 10 in red, and now Reading will kick it away. Lucas Ebright and Breckenridge hoping to respond. 16 unanswered points right now by the Reading Rangers. Ebright and Hunter Collins are back deep. This will be Collins. Good downfield coverage by Reading special teams.
Collins on return. Hogan
A little gut check time. Now it's still early. It's 16-6. This Reading offense has kept your defense on the field a long time. Now let's remember an 8-man at this division, not 8-man rather, but Division 8. A lot of guys are going both ways.
Right.
So you're getting them gassed a little bit with your offense, holding Breckenridge's defense on the field. Now it's your offense's time to try to possess the ball, get some first downs, and possibly some points.
Staley will throw. What a great read by Cole Boyd. He jumped all over Lucas Ebright as soon as that pass left the hands of quarterback Carter Staley.
Oh, Boyd. That was a hit. Cole Boyd read that so quickly and came flying up. He's sitting in his zone, which is nice. He's sitting in his zone. He reads The receiver to that side just coming into the flat. He releases the outside guy. You're going to take another look here out to your right. He sees go inside. He just comes flying off. He lets it go. He reads the quarterback. That's just well-executed zone defense.
We saw this yesterday, didn't we? For a decisive pick six, I believe, at this same stadium.
I'm not talking about that, but thank you for gashing my old wounds. Appreciate that. A little salt you want to throw in there?
A loss of one on the play.
Coach Robinson right now.
He wants a timeout. Wants to talk over some things. He's got to move the football. His team did to take an early 6-0 lead, but they've been on their heels since.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
2 days only. Don't miss Menards' huge Black Friday sale. Doors open at 6 a.m. Friday. Hurry in for best selection. Get this 3-rack dishwasher for just $299 after rebate. This 1600 PSI pressure washer is $49.97. Keep your firearms secure with this 30-gun save. $279 after rebate. This drone takes photos and video. Just $29.99. Save on these and many more 2-day deals. Now through Saturday during Menards' Black Friday sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Breckenridge trying to come from behind. It's a little unusual for this team, considering what they've done all season long in the opening half. And it is Husky country up there where everybody loves coming to watch their team play on Friday nights.
You know, Matthew, remember we had a chance to start off this at Kent City? Small town football. Football week in Michigan. We kicked it off with a broadcast of Saugatuck at Kent City, and this has that same feel, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. What a great feeling that was to be at Kent City earlier this year. And Breckenridge is a team that lost in the regional finals to Lake City last year, a close one. Lost some really good players from that team, but they really felt like they entered the winter meetings and realized, you know what, we've got some guys who can be replaced, really quality players who would replace them. So midway through the season, they knew they had something special. And at 13-0, it is a special season. There's a fumble, but a stoppage of play. They've got to take care of the football.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
And that is something Chris Robinson said we do all year long. We take care of the football because we're an experienced team. Well, guess what? That one turnover they had earlier was recovered in the end zone for a touchdown, and that seemed to flip the momentum a little bit.
That's a big difference in the game. And Chris Robinson right now, he's looking at a tough road to hoe because Reading has 6 tackles for loss already, and you're behind the sticks at 2nd and 15.
Staley sidearms it. A good play to make up some yards to Hunter Collins, who was tackled by Ben Affolter. A gain of 9 for Breckenridge.
That's the way to chip away. You're 2nd and 15. You pick up 70. But I want to watch. Pause it right here. I want you to look. As we go to the right, we go to the right here. I think is this right? I'm going to turn around here. I think it goes to the right. Look at that. That's 44. That's a 275-pound high school kid covering the back out of the backfield and running with him and pushing him out of bounds. That's an athlete. That's just not a big kid. Oh, look at they got big, kind of galumpy kids. That kid can play.
0 for 4 on 3rd downs are Breckenridge. It's going to be 0 for 5 now. That little shovel pass didn't fool the Reading defense. They gained 3.
I like the design of this. They just couldn't get the defense to flow enough. It was right inside, and a nice job coming from the backside by Ethan Lethal Presto coming in. One of the first times you called his name defensively. You think it was going to be there? I think they were a little impatient. They kind of rushed it, and they showed their hand a little bit too quickly on that shovel pass.
Maybe set something up for later on in the game where you could do a reverse since you had everybody flowing that way. Breckenridge will punt it away. Midgard will let it bounce and go out of bounds right near the 20-yard line. Midgard, the last one to score a touchdown for Reading. He's given them a 16-6 lead. There's a lot of great stories anytime you look at these high school programs. And for Reading, it's about a former player, Ryan Rock, who passed away in his mid-30s. He was hit with cancer, but he did tell Coach Rick Bailey, when you overcome this earlier in his career, you'll come and address this team, right? And that's what Rick Bailey told Ryan Rock. But he wasn't well enough at the beginning of the year and then passed away. And it's had an influence, an impact on Rick Bailey's team for sure. Here's Alex Price. Still with it. And wrestled down at the 26-yard line.
As he was about to pass, they had taken the nutrition away from him and so forth, so he was kind of in a comatose state for the last 3-4 days. And then he woke up and told the nurse, I got to go to Reading because I have to address the team. And of course the nurse said, well, we can't do that, but I will take down every word you say. And so that's where the quote, tell them this is their year, came from.
And that's what they live by. David Bignell tackled for a loss by Spencer Ramirez, who's been probably the most impactful player on that Breckenridge defense so far.
Absolutely. And talking to Coach Robinson, we get a nice chance to visit with these coaches who are very accommodating to us. And I always ask him, who do I look for around the ball? He said 71. Spencer Ramirez up front along with Schreiber Miller. He said they're going to be in the backfield. They're the ones that make plays. They're the drive killers. They get the TFLs, and that's what you like to see. And he's lived up to his billing so far.
He's got 5 tackles by himself so far in this one.
Let's see. This Reading is in a passing situation. That's what Breckenridge like to do. The Huskies would like to get him pushed back and bring some pressure and maybe force a turnover of their own.
LaPresto gashing his way for a first down. That's a big run right there. Needed 10, got 19.
This is going to be the counterplay. LaPresto's going to be here. A lot of the action is going to go that way after the fake to the wing, and then it's just coming back underneath. The motion of the jet action gets the defensive eyes looking with the motion, and then you just bring it back on the counter. You're going to pull on the backside through the hole, and LaPresto shows his quickness, and that is a huge first down check because there's 2:09 and counting. If you have to punt there, Breckenridge has opportunity to maybe put some points on the board and crawl back a little bit closer.
LaPresto again. No, they're going to swing it out. Midgard, and it's incomplete. It did bounce back up to him. Was that a lateral? Thought it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, I thought it was a forward pass as well. Officials are ruling that it was backwards.
Boy, really heads-up play by Hunter Midgard.
We're going to look here in the replay. He's on 35-36. Pretty close. I mean, tough. I can see why the officials let it go, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's right there.
And a ton of credit to Midgard for staying with it. Did not give up on the play and actually gained a couple of yards.
Well, when you run that pass, you tell your guys all year, treat it as a lateral. Treat it as a lateral, even if you don't catch it.
LaPresto. Good bounce to get to midfield.
Nice job by Joshua Johnson, the 6'4", 255-pound junior, number 56. You're going to see him get out in front of this. Okay, it's going to head to the left, let it go. Look, number 56 leading the way, gets just enough. That allows LaPresto to cut up inside. Once again, Chip, you don't have to roll people. You don't have to knock them down. Occupy them. You have running backs that are talented like LaPresto. He'll see it. Once you get engaged, he will cut off it. So nice job by Double J, number 56, Josh Johnson getting out front.
LaPresto almost 7 yards per carry today. Shotgun formation for Alex Price in an empty set. And now a flag on the play.
Well, there's under a minute and counting here. And a false start. I wonder how.
Good ball, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
This is Matt. This is one of those kind of do we or don't we situations that you don't throw the ball a lot. You're back on your 40s. You're on your own 46. There's 49 seconds. You take a shot. And I think if you do throw in this situation, as the clock starts to run here, they're going to have to hurry up if they really want to go. I throw it deep. So if it gets intercepted, so be it. You're going to tackle them, and you're going into half with a 16-6 lead. Let's keep an eye on LaPresto, number 20. He's in the slot to the right. He's your speed guy. Actually, that's Willoughby in motion.
Ball. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
I know, are they having two guys in motion at the same time? The clock's going to continue to run here again. Once they spot this foul in high school, after they will start the clock. So Coach Bailey now, he's just going to let this tick off and head into the half with a 16-6 lead.
It's the right thing to do. Time and situation, right? That's what you always preach.
I don't think he has to snap it.
Just take a knee if you want. Steady hands off to Elijah Stein. Hunter Smith makes yet another tackle. 58 in White has been really good. 71 in White. Spencer Ramirez really good, but reading too much. And then the turnover really hurt Breckenridge in this opening half.
Yeah, I mean, if you take that away, the 8 points in that drive, you're in an 8-6 ball game. You're feeling good about yourself. Chris Robinson has to feel like, hey, this is a high-powered offense. We held them to one score.
Right.
I mean, they're scoring 50 points a game, and we held them to one score. And that's what you go to halftime. That's what you emphasize to your team.
That's what you're preaching to your guys right now, right?
That you came out and you balled, and we're good defensively. Now, offensively, you take your team aside. Say, listen, fellas, we got to get better. We got to do some things. We're getting blown up inside. We're getting too many tackle for losses. And it's just a situation now. There's a lot of good, but there's also room for improvement for both coaches when they address their teams.
Boy, you sound like a coach. Rick Bailey's the coach of Reading. Torrey Petrie is with Coach Bailey. Reading?
Matt, thanks. Coach, you call this defense the Land Sharks. How key were they in swinging the momentum of this first half?
Yeah, absolutely. They swarmed to the football. That's the way we've been all year. And good things so far.
What do you need to tell them at the half to keep it rolling?
Just continue to read our keys. I think they're going to go in the air. I don't think they'll run the ball successfully on us a whole bunch, so hopefully. And just key the pass receivers.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck in the second half.
Thanks, Tori.
Matt, back up to you.
It's been a special season for Reading and Breckenridge, but only one champion can be crowned in Division 8. Early on, it was Breckenridge with a 6-0 lead before 16 unanswered by the Rangers from Reading. We're at the break, Division 8 on Fox Sports Detroit.
When it comes to health insurance, what's your plan? Mine's Physicians Health Plan, and for good reason. PHP is right here in mid-Michigan. So if I'm looking for a new doctor or managing my meds, I like that I can just stop by their office if I have any questions. They're always there to help, and that's reassuring. So is the fact that they cover me across an entire network.
See family, hug an uncle. It's the holidays, America. Let's do it together. Ford, built for the holiday.
Now with Black Friday cash, current AZ Plan lessees can lease a Ford Edge for only $149 a month for 24 months with $23.79 to its own.
Xfinity X5, a more powerful way to stay connected. It gives you super fast speeds for all your devices, enhanced coverage, and lets you control your network with the X5 app. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience. Xfinity X5. Simple, easy, awesome.
Xfinity delivers fast, reliable speed you need. Plus, enjoy enhanced coverage throughout your home with X5 pods. Click, call, or visit a store today.
The foundation we're built on is determination, creativity, independence, and the pursuit of happiness. We are the American Foundation for the Blind, changing the way the world sees blindness. Together, with you, there is nothing we can't do. To learn more, visit afb.org.
Stream live Pistons games on the Fox Sports app.
Welcome back to high school football state finals here at Ford Field, where Reading leads Breckenridge 16-6 in the Division 8 final. You know, we are just 1 day away from the game. Michigan looks to continue its revenge tour by slaying Ohio State tomorrow. Both teams have so much at stake. Fox's Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson preview this historic rivalry.
Well, it all comes down to this, folks. Michigan-Ohio State, the greatest rivalry in college sports. The Wolverines will head into the game winners of 10 in a row. Ohio State, it feels like after the Maryland game, they're limping to the finish line, but when these two teams face each other, just throw the records out.
Exactly. And I don't know if it matters how they're coming into this. I would argue that Michigan didn't play their best game against Indiana to come into this ball game, but there's a couple of things that we know. Ohio State has struggled all year long defensively against big plays, in particular big runs. So that's where Michigan's going to attack them first, is with Karan Higdon, who's been really good for them and very consistent. Shea Patterson also on the ground. He's converted a lot of third down opportunities in big moments and big games. I think that's going to be a huge matchup for Ohio State's defense. On the other side, partner, Dwayne Haskins, I think, is going to have to play his best game. And it can't just be a pass-happy Buckeye team like we saw against Purdue.
That means Mike Weber and Dobbins will have to run the ball as well.
Have to, and that offensive line, like we saw against Michigan State, I think they're going to have to play much more like that in a balanced effort than just Dwayne Haskins throwing the ball all over the yard.
Well, for Michigan, one thing that they discovered in the Indiana game, they do have a kicker. Jake Moody, the freshman from Northville, Michigan, was 6 for 6 against IU.
And it was kind of a late change. So we saw Quinn Nordine, who's been their kicker most of the year, and he struggled in warm-ups after struggling in the last 2 weeks. And Jim Harbaugh made the change. Moody comes out there, boom, and he gives them a lot of confidence in a game that likely will be close, and there probably will be some inclement weather, maybe some wind. The confidence of going 6 for 6 cannot be overstated, and so that's a huge feather in the cap for Michigan moving forward.
All right, so we're all set for it. Michigan, Ohio State, and it should be a good one.
Well, this is a game that you guys will not want to miss. The Wolverines and Buckeyes square off tomorrow at noon on Fox. Reading leads Breckenridge 16-6. We'll be back with more in the second half in just a few.
Dear John, I know this has been a journey that no one wants to have. Your courage and your steadfast determination is an inspiration to me and countless others. It is my privilege to care for you and be a part of your journey. I am committed to your fight for life and to overcome the cancer that has impacted you, your family, and friends. With love and respect, Dr. Kumari Adams.
I think my ride's due for an upgrade.
There's more than one way to fly. Great deals all month long at the Dodge Black Friday event. Or well-qualified returning employee lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2018 Dodge Durango GT for $299 a month.
For me, being myself is just something I really pride myself on. I never want to be somebody that I'm not. And I'm not afraid to be myself.
The dynamite dunk.
The celebration is something that gets the crowd energized and my teammates as well, too.
Andre follows. Gets Andre a jam.
It's more a spur of the moment. I kind of just do it. I don't really think about it or plan it. So I'm sure I'll have something new for you guys this year. Stream live Pistons games on the Fox Sports app.
Football week in Michigan, only on your Fox networks.
Welcome back to high school football state finals here at Ford Field, where Reading leads Breckenridge 16-6. The Big Now brothers on the Reading Rangers aren't related to each other by blood or to their parents. The two of them have actually been adopted from Ethiopia when the Big Nels met them there on a missions trip several years ago. They met them and they were just so touched by these two kids, they wanted to bring them home. The Big Nels are pastors of the Remedy Church in Reading. They brought them home when they were 10 and 12, and the Big Nels' youngest son, Corbin, was 3. These guys were athletic soccer players when they moved here, but they didn't have a clue about football 5 years ago. They met the Affolter kids, who we've heard plenty about in this first half of football. Met them in class, and they decided to join this football team. They taught the Affolter brothers about soccer, and the Affolters taught them about football. Their dad, Jared, coached them in middle school, and at first, David didn't know any of the rules. I'd say he's learned a few of them as he's playing for a state final here today. We'll be back with more after the second half in just a little bit. Reading is ahead right now, ahead of Breckenridge, 16-6.
Don't just think of it as half off late night apps at Applebee's. It's half off the after party, half off the first date, half off girls' night. Late night half-priced apps, only at Applebee's.
The ones who wake up every morning ready to take on the world. The ones who push their limits to be better than the rest. You're looking to join a team of leaders who want to be challenged. You want to be pushed to your limits. You value freedom and think you have what it takes. The ones with speed, strength, intellect, and determination. Michigan Army National Guard. We see you.
Don't just think of it as half off late night apps at Applebee's. It's half off the after party, half off the first date, half off girls' night. Late night half-priced apps, only at Applebee's.
This may look like a few dollars, but it's way, way more. To a foster child, it's a pathway to extracurricular activities.
To join the soccer team.
To keep up in school.
To explore new places.
Make new friends.
And just be a kid.
It's a chance to build confidence. Learn new stuff.
Get ready for college.
Maybe even go to prom. Visit tickettodream.org and learn how you can help foster kids just be kids.
Wolverines join us this Saturday at Beacon Park in Detroit for the ultimate Michigan-Ohio State watch party. It starts at 10 a.m. We'll give away apparel, tickets, and a whole lot more. That's this Saturday at Beacon Park in Detroit for Michigan and Ohio State in Columbus. We're here at Ford Field, one half in the books of the Division VIII state championship game. It's been a defensive tug of war. We'll show you why when we come back after this.
The importance of higher education in my family was the main goal for us. Our goal was to graduate from college debt-free, and thanks to the programs at My Student Aid, we were able to do that.
I didn't know how much we were supposed to be saving for college. Nobody was putting that money aside for me from birth or kindergarten on.
Sometimes we'll see students 2, 3, sometimes even 4 years out of high school that call in, and we can happily say, yes, you're still eligible for this program.
It's Toyota's Black 8 Days, and we want to make sure you get the message that you have just 8 days to get an extraordinary deal on a new Toyota. 8 days to get $1,000 cash back on a rugged 2018 Tacoma or legendary 4Runner. Get $2,000 back on the aggressively sophisticated 2018 Highlander or $3,000 cash back on the best-selling 2018 RAV4. Hurry to Toyota's Black 8 Days. How many more ways can we tell you? Toyota, let's go places.
Know what happens when a wolverine gets caught in a bear trap? It chews its own leg off, so it can keep coming after you. It doesn't care how big you are, how many you are, or how many degrees it is below freezing. It just hunts, and you just made yourself an easy target.
Yards and points at a premium so far in that first half at Ford Field of the Division VIII state championship game. Welcome back. Alongside Rob Rubik, I'm Matt Shepard. That second quarter dominated by Reading. Breckenridge got out to the early start, Rubes. What was the difference in that second quarter for the Rangers?
Pressure up front. The defensive line really exerted themselves, started getting penetration. A lot of tackles for loss, but it started out pretty well. You're going to see Carter Staley here go to the air early on and find Hunter Collins, gets loose in the end zone for the first score and puts Breckenridge on top. But here's a strip sack by Caleb Miller. And then Strine's going to come in and recover the football for a touchdown. So that's a nice job of answering the bell defensively. Backfield position led to that. And then getting to the edge here, Hunter Midgard does a good job getting The touchdown after a whole convoy of red shirts was able to lead them around the side. So this offense of Reading has done just enough so far, but it's really the defense of Reading that I believe has been the difference. And look at some of the stats here. Total yards, 108, not a lot, but only 46 for the Breckenridge Huskies. Now, we talked coming in, we knew that this was not necessarily a high-powered offense. Yeah. They really were led by a stingy defense, but the offense has got to pick it up. If they're going to have any opportunity here, Shep, in the second half of making this little comeback, they're going to have to be able to put some points on the board offensively.
Our first half highlights and stats brought to you by St. Joseph's Mercy Hospital. Well, Reading will get the ball to start the second half, and the Reading Rangers are already up by 10 here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Gotta make it happen. Yeah,
Looking for an amazing deal this holiday? Then don't miss the Xfinity Black Friday sale. With the ultimate in-home Wi-Fi experience from America's best internet provider and Xfinity X1, which lets you find Netflix and coming soon, Amazon Prime Video with just your voice. Sign up through November 27th and get a $100 prepaid card. It's simple, easy, awesome.
Get Xfinity TV and internet with up to 150 megabits per second download speed and HBO included for a year. Plus, get $100 back. Hurry, click, call, or visit us today.
For me, being myself is just something I really pride myself on. I never want to be somebody that I'm not, and I'm not afraid to be myself.
The dynamite dunk.
Celebration is something that gets the crowd energized and my teammates as well, too.
Andre follows. Gets Andre a jam.
It's more a spur of the moment. I kind of just do it. I don't really think about it or plan it, so I'm sure I have something new for you guys this year.
Sabres, Red Wings, tomorrow at 6:30 on Fox Sports Detroit. Suns, Pistons, Sunday at 3:30 on Fox Sports Detroit.
The MHSA High School Football Finals on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by Ford Motor Company. Go further. And by IBEW Local 58, the best contractors, the best electricians, period. Glad you're with us from Ford Field. 4 games on tap for you today. 4 more games for you on Saturday, and then the Legacy All-Star Game on Sunday here on Fox Sports Detroit. Tori Petrie is with Breckenridge head coach Chris Robinson. Tori?
Thanks, Matt. Coach, you guys scored first, but then that defensive touchdown by Reading really swung this first half. What do you tell your kids to keep their heads in this after that?
Well, I told him I won't throw the ball out of the end zone anymore. No, that was an unfortunate break for us. Basically, we told him everything that could go wrong did go wrong. So that was good news and bad news, and then we'll make adjustments from here, and we made a few, so we should be okay. What do your kids need to improve in the second half? We need to block a little bit better on the offensive side of the ball. We need to keep playing physical. We don't have the size advantage or the speed advantage, so we're working on it. Well, best of luck in the second half. Bye. Back to you, Matt.
All right, Tori, thanks very much. They've got an uphill battle, but they're down just 10, and that's something that they can deal with, even though they haven't really had to deal with that this year. It's not a usual position for Breckenridge. Think about this for just a moment here. In the first half of this season, during the season, up till last week, this Breckenridge team outscored its opposition 251 to 24. 251 to 24, but they trail by 10 here. Hey, fans, help us end hunger and waste in our communities with Kroger's Zero Hunger, Zero Waste initiative. It's easy. Just text the word Zero Hunger to 248-710-0129 to donate now. Again, that's Zero Hunger to 248-710-0129 to help Kroger fight hunger in our communities. After this, it is the Division II slugfest. De La Salle, the defending champions, already here, taking in a little football like you folks are here at home, watching us on Fox Sports Detroit. And De La Salle will take on Muskegon Mona Shores.
Yeah, it's going to be a great battle. Really, when I looked at all 8 of the games, I put an asterisk by that game. I was glad that we got divisions 1, 2, 7, and 8, because I thought of all 8, that to me was the most intriguing because they're a little bit different styles. Mona Shore is very balanced. They can throw it. They can run it high power, a lot of points. And this De La Salle team's well coached, unbelievably physical on both sides of their line.
And you watch a lot of high school football.
I watch a lot of high school football.
Every weekend you're watching somebody.
I saw De La Salle against Davison, and Davison had a good club, and they just really physically manhandled them up front. And once I saw that, I said, this team has an opportunity to go far. And then they really got beaten by Catholic Central early on in the year. And then after that, they came back, and Nolan Schultz, the new quarterback, who came in because of injuries. And everyone says, are they not as good? No, they're as good. They're just different than they were with the other starting quarterback because he gets outside, he can run, he's dual threat. So, yeah, it's going to be a great game. So people, after this one's done, which is also a great game, stay tuned. We got another one. Shep and I back at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, excited for that. Reading, hoping nothing changes in the second half. Their go-to man, Ethan Lepresto, who wears 20 in red. In the first quarter, just 14 yards. In the second quarter, 46 yards. Something opened up a little bit more for that man right there, Ethan Lepresto, who was the league MVP in the Big 8 Conference for his second consecutive season.
Well, Coach Robinson, we enjoy talking to him on the phone. He cracks me. He goes, well, we don't have the size advantage, and we don't have the speed advantage. I'm thinking, well, Coach,
we're working on it.
We're working on some type of advantage. But he said they'll make do, and that's what good coaches do. They'll adapt, and figure out a way to get it done.
Grant Willman kicks it back, and it will go into the end zone. And Reading will start this third quarter with the football and dominated the second quarter, where they had 80 yards of offense, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but they did outgain Breckenridge by almost 60 yards. But maybe more importantly, Rubes, what Alex Price and this Reading offense was able to do is possess the football. Of the 12 minutes on the clock in the second quarter, they had it for 9:07. So here we go in the third. Lepresto found a seam, and a good way to start as he continues dragging 4 defenders close to midfield. What a tough kid, man.
Well, they're going to come out in a balance. Going to end up going right here. Lepresto's going to get it here. He's going to get a nice kickout block at the point of attack. He gets up into the seam, and then this is just great effort. No, he's not large. You look at his stats. He's 5'8", 165 pounds, but he is tough. Bounces, really gets hit the hardest by another guy in the red.
Was a state finalist in wrestling a year ago.
See, I tell you, wrestlers. Usually you see him in the defensive front. You know, both DTs for Breckenridge, when we talked about Ramirez, they're wrestlers, and you see how good they are with their hands and feet. Lepresto, running back, is a little bit different, but tough.
Willoughby stiff arms his way into Breckenridge territory.
Well, we've seen that counter play time and time again now. Once you can establish the power read, you run the counter off. Willoughby's going to come, takes a jab step to the left, comes back to right. Now, right there, I think he's got to turn it up inside the kickout block. Bryce Pago did a nice job of kicking out the end, and that's where you got to stick it up inside. But a lot of times those running backs, especially guys that run the counters, the smaller guys, the quick guys, they like to try to get to the edge because they know there's a lot of big bodies inside, and it hurts a lot less when you get pushed out of bounds.
Sure does. Second down for Reading. Lepresto. You can tell, you're right. I mean, the different running styles, and it's good. You know, not everybody has to run the same. It's good to have different backs who do different things.
Well, you're going to see this time it's going to be the same play. Counter, let's pause it. You're going to make a jab step. You're going to come in here, and you're going to get the kick out. Watch what Lepresto does. When they go, let it run, they'll take the jab. He cuts up inside that block, even though there's 2 white jerseys. He takes what's there. It's a nice 4-yard gain, and running backs have to realize, Shep, every play is not a touchdown. A 4-yard gain is a positive play that keeps you ahead of the sticks.
First down. And dragging would-be tackles close to the 35. Garrett Fitzgerald and Carter Staley made the tackles.
Reading right now, they're getting just a lot of bodies at the point, the big bodies. Nice job with the kick-out block by Nick Affolter, 55. They're just running people through, flushing out the hole that time, getting 2 lead blockers through. And that man there is benefiting from it, Ethan Lepresto.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for you when he makes someone miss, say, you know, ooh, Presto. Magic.
I think you've already done that.
No, I haven't. Save it for you. That's your tidbit. And they're coming just a balanced line, a power look.
Elijah Strine with some positive yards to sneak inside the 35. You talked about the strength and size up front. Remember, it takes sometimes an old dog to learn some new tricks. Rick Bailey's been at this for a long time, right? And it wasn't too long ago where he was thinking, how much can the weight room really help us? Well, these kids have loved it. And he's got a ton of kids who love the weight room, and that's really benefited them from being up front. Lepresto is one of those kids spinning his way inside the 25.
He's got some scoots.
They figured something out, and it seems like the game has slowed down a little bit for him, too. In this second quarter, now carried over into the third.
I think big bodies leaning on smaller bodies. This is just a toss. It's just a power sweep, sort of like Vince Lombardi had been proud of this play. You just toss, and everyone's stepping to the play. It's like an outside zone in a sense, but they do it off a toss. Everyone's just stepping play side. You pull one guy, get him out front to lead, and Lepresto does the rest.
The workhorse. Still on his feet and diving to the 16-yard line. Peyton Huntoon made the tackle, a gain of 7. Looks like he's a little gassed, so give him a break.
We saw Spencer Martinez right here. You're going to see right now what Reading is doing. Let it go. They're going to get low and just try to take guys down, cut them, get them on the ground. Not let them get that penetration, make everything bubble, and then let Lepresto do the rest, getting to the edge.
Yeah, that'll weigh on you for sure. Second down and reasonable. Midgard. Should be enough for a first down.
There's a late flag coming out.
Midgard on the carry.
It's going to be a dead ball, whatever it is. They're going to move the chains.
First down yardage.
Personal foul, late hit on the defense.
Good look from our Sky Cam right there, brought to you by Baker College. On this Reading opening drive of the second half that has seen them march the ball all the way to the 6-yard line of Breckenridge. This will be the 9th play of the Reading drive. All have been on the ground so far. Willoughby. Carter Staley made the tackle at the 5.
Willoughby thought about bouncing it to the outside, but the white shirts kind of flashed in front of him, so put his foot in the ground and turned it up. But Staley with a good job, got a little bit of shirt. You can see the little toss, the motion. He gets it. Now he wants to outside, but white shirts there. He cuts it back in, and Staley grabbed him right in the back of the jersey, above the numbers, able to wheel him down. Sets up a 3rd down and 5.
You can see some of the coaching staff motioning the same way that you do. Like, cut it back up a little bit, right? Gaudy numbers on the ground for Reading today. Price still has it. He's going to walk in.
Well, this is just going to be a little fake plate. All motion goes to the left. Willoughby's going to end up getting outside. And Price is just a quarterback keep. Both of them go left to backs. And then you get Willoughby, who's the offside back. He comes your way, and he becomes the lead back. So kind of a neat play. We've seen some well-designed plays here today by reading, trying to get people in position, trying to get the flow of the defense one way, a little misdirection. The quarterback keep coming backside.
They've been successful on both their two-point conversions. A toss to LaPresto, and they get 3 for 3. A statement drive by the Rangers to open the third at Ford Field.
If you're in an auto accident, what next? Call Goodman Acker at 1-800-TRUSTED.
Our caring team will handle everything.
Goodman Acker will even take care of your costs while your case is going on. And did you know that your family can get paid for taking care of you?
Get a dedicated legal team with a 99% success rate and won over $500 million in settlements for our clients. Goodman Acker, good decision. Call 1-800-TRUSTED.
The people who do more deserve more. More affordable options for everyone. More access on your own terms. And more coverage wherever you go. That's what we give the people and businesses in Michigan, because we believe it's time for more.
Sabres, Red Wings, tomorrow at 6:30 on Fox Sports Detroit.
It's been building and building for Reading, and this year it has all come together for them. They lead Breckenridge 24-6. Rick Bailey's as proud of this varsity team as he could be, but he's also really proud of his feeder program. His 7th grade, his 8th grade, and his JV team, along with the varsity, have lost just 2 games combined all season long. So it starts at an early age in Reading, and now they have established in their first ever championship game a championship-type season. It's not over yet, though. Breckenridge, to their credit, 13-0 on the season, and looking forward to trying to come back. There's a good look at the Reading Rangers.
I love that. It looks like my old high school. I love the 2-story high schools.
It looks like your old high school, you're saying?
Yeah, it's about 60 years newer, but... I see Coach Robinson in this offense can put something together, and they're going to be really forced to start throwing the football more than they would like to. Obviously, they're a run-based team as well, as we discussed.
We'll fall on it at the 37-yard line. Let's welcome in Tori Petrie. Tori?
Matt, you guys have talked about how well Breckenridge has played this season. Well, their motto this season has been, let's go to work. They have these time cards that they punch in when they come to practice. You can see one of them here. It's full. They had 28 days of spring practice, and players who went above and beyond and came to 35 of those got an Ironworks shirt from Breckenridge. These guys are going to have to go to work in this second half if they want to come back from this one.
And they take those shirts everywhere they go. No matter whatever public appearance they make, they wear those shirts. And Chris Robinson told us it's a retirement paycheck coming up today. They're going to have to throw it. Staley, nice pocket, lofts it. And a home run ball. And it is incomplete. Good coverage by Tyler Winnie downfield.
Well, we knew they were going to have to come out and throw a little bit. You cannot just come out and try to go 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, try to move the sticks that way with a 24-6 lead. Time goes fast, but nice job by Winnie. All defensive backs, not only he opens, he runs, he uses the sideline as his friend, kind of forces the receiver out there, and then he makes a play on the ball. He locates it, becomes a receiver, and almost comes up with an interception.
First incomplete pass for Carter Staley today.
Well, Breckenridge stood up out of their stance, but they might have been kind of...
It's like they had 2 reading defenders jump into that neutral
right.
zone.
That's what I'm saying. What came first? Did the motion or the offsides? Because offside kills everything.
Encroachment on the defense. Dead ball foul. Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Look, you remind us this all the time. These referees are here for a reason. They get evaluated. Yes. They are the best the state has to offer.
The referees, I guarantee, you got to remember their job. 50% of the people like your job, 50% hate it because somebody loses.
And even the people who do like you are saying something bad about you at some point. It's a nice completion into reading territory as Bailey Saunders hauls in his first catch of the day, a pickup of 9.
We saw Carter Staley went on the field prior to the game, Shep, you and myself, and he's a good-looking body. I mean, we looked at his good pins underneath him, good solid base. A little bit different throwing style, kind of a short, doesn't take the big wind-up, kind of a little bit of a short stroker, but he gets it out, and his accuracy looked very good. And that time, I like the fact he got it in and out quickly, gave the receiver, the quicker you can get it out, the less time the receiver has to stay open. You know, so you run a little 10-yard curl, if you're waiting for the ball, that defensive back, it's time to close.
He throws it 3/4, not over the top. He's going to run it this time. And he ran right into big middle linebacker Ben Affolter.
That's the play we saw in the first half. They motion out, they go to an empty set, they try to get all the motion widening, and then just take it, go right up the middle, but too much penetration. Big 44 right there. He is a football player.
And a big one.
Wow.
7th tackle for loss for Reading's defense.
You look at him, and he doesn't look like, he's this prototype, long, lean defensive lineman, defensive end who's a pass rusher or linebacker can run.
Right.
But I don't care what his body type looks like. He can play because he can run. He plays with his head up and does a great job.
Staley's got some time, and now he's got some real estate. And then it closed quickly. Good defensive play by David Bignell to come up, recognize it quickly. Really good story from Torrey Petrie at halftime. Hope folks had a chance to see it. And Bignell being adopted, he and his brother, and he has learned the game quickly and embraced it and loves it now. It's part of his athletic culture. Former soccer player. His brother Aaron on this Reading team. And part of a defense that has been special all year long. Gave up 40 points total in the regular season. Think about that for a minute, folks. 40 points total. It's a 3rd and long. Staley sidearms it to the 40-yard line. Penalty on the play. Lucas Ebright pulled it in. Ben Affolter was right there for the tackle. Let's see what the laundry's about.
Okay, Len.
We're going to look here on the rollout. They're going to get caught with a hold. A nice job, though, by Staley. It's going to roll to your left. You see motioning outside. Watch Ebright right down. He's going to hook up right in here and roll into his left. He's able to still kind of flick it back to his right. So well-executed play. But all for naught is the holding penalty is going to bring it back.
And I don't care what level you're at. Those are drive killers, aren't they?
They are. And it's a 3rd down. You're still going to be short, maybe yard and a half. You're going to be a 4th down, a yard and a half with a great opportunity to continue to drive. Now Chris Robinson is saying to his staff, hey, who's got the 3rd down and 21 conversion play? Anyone?
Well, but to your point earlier in the broadcast, that's because you don't practice that very often because you're not put in that situation.
Right, and they have been able. But coming in, they knew that they were the tough defense they were facing.
A screen. Looks good. A nice run after the catch from Hunter Collins. David Bignell made the tackle. Bring up a 4th and 9. He got 14 on the play.
All right, they're going to let it run a little bit, and I want you to pause it. They're going to clear out, let it go, stop it. Now, good job letting all 3 defenders in. Now, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and only really 1 guy in the middle. Let it go. And that's Ben Affolter. But look, he's going to need up 1, 2 guys and make the play slow down enough to allow other red shirts to come in and help. You don't always have to make the play, Shep, as you tell me. You can still make the play by helping make the play, and that's what he just did. Eat up some bodies, let your teammates get it done.
Really good read on his part. 4th and 8, flag on the play. Staley lofts it into double coverage and incomplete. And a late flag as well.
Looks like my son's dorm room in college with all the laundry on the field right now.
Dorm room? What about his room at home? This looks like my son's room at home, for crying out loud. He's only been home for 2 days.
Scotty, make it in from Albion.
We have 2 penalties on the play. We have illegal motion on the offense. We have pass interference on the defense. Those penalties offset. Replay, 4th down.
Why are we seeing so many illegal motions in this game so far?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're calling it. It's got to be legal formation because they let the play go. It's not like a false start. So that means when you see a lot of formations, I'm not sure which coach said. I said, they run many things. He goes, yeah, about 70 different sets. I think I was reading it runs all the sets.
It is.
What happens is if you get someone who goes in motion, somebody else is stepping up. Maybe you're sending someone in motion in the split end that side. I got to get up on the ball. He steps up, but there's already one guy in motion. That's a flag.
Staley, and a nice connection. And that's a 1st down throw.
Oh, that's Valier comes up with a catch. And that's just a beautiful throw. Once again, Staley spinning the ball nice on this drive. He has a lot of time finally, though. And Valier is able to just run the out from the slot position. 5'6", 155-pound sophomore.
Valier led this team in yards per catch. That was a massive catch right there to keep the drive alive.
And what a job overcoming that holding penalty. When you were in a 4th and 1, it puts you back down in a 3rd and 20, 21. And you're able to move the sticks. They can protect. Staley can throw it.
Can't run it there, though. Not when you're getting that type of penetration from Damon Black. And another penalty.
DJ Falquette, the white hat, he's from Munising, by the way. Came up to us before the game.
He did, yeah.
CP, Pitcher Rocks, beautiful area.
Personal foul on the offense. 15-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
Yes, shooting themselves in the foot.
Sure are. They're asking themselves to overcome an awful lot on this drive.
Coach Robinson right now trying to maintain his cool. I think he was looking. I don't think he's necessarily arguing that it was a personal foul, but it's one that could have been called both ways on both players. We'll look at Levi Warren. I'm not sure who the guilty party was, but he's doing a good job up front protecting, along with Bailey Saunders and Corbin Reed and Shriver Miller. When teams know you're going to throw, this is like a track meet for the red shirts right now. They're putting it in their sprinter stance there because they're coming up the field, and the guys in the white shirts, they're like, oh, they're coming. So if you can pass pro in this situation, you're doing a great job.
And now an official's
time.
I
think Chris Robinson
I think they want to
wants
talk with Chris Robinson, right?
Yeah, he's demanding a consultation here with the white hat. And I like this. I appreciate the fact that he's hearing the coach out, explaining his side, why they threw the flag like they did. And most coaches, Shep, if you do this for them, if you hear them out, listen to them, and tell them most of them will be happy with that. Not all of them, but most of them.
Needs some resiliency here, and his team has been in this situation to a certain extent, not quite like this, but talking with Chris Robinson said, we got through the first couple of weeks, beat Beaverton and Alcona. I knew it had something special because we scored late against Beaverton to win it, and that showed an awful lot of resolve on our part, some resiliency. And they're going to need that type of character here today.
It looks like they're going to rush 4, cover with 7.
Pressure coming. Staley stiff-arming his way and throwing it incomplete. Well, that's what you were talking about. The guys in red are just pinning their ears back.
Yeah, they know. It's such an advantage when you know what the offense is going to have to do, and the pressure comes. They actually run a little bit of a zone blitz. They took number 55, Nick Affolter. They dropped him off from the nose position and rushed 3. So they show you a 4-man front, but then Affolter's up there. When he drops back, all of a sudden your center guard are looking for someone to block, and the pressure comes from the edge. You need a good chunk here. Obviously, you probably go for the 4th down if you can pick up some positive yards.
Another flag. What has happened here in the third quarter?
No false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, third down.
That's at least a half dozen, isn't it? In this game, we've seen at least a half dozen. Value's out of the pistol. Nope, it's Ebright. Lucas Ebright's going to throw it. He's got it caught to his quarterback, Carter Staley.
Oh, but a flag comes in late, about at midfield. Now we got legal lineman downfield, possibly.
Staley's hurt.
That's a little bit different now. Ebright throws it. That's just one that, you know, it's not, I never saw it. I just saw where the flag came from, and the play was downfield. And there's really no players around there.
Downfield, off the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, third down.
We're going to look at the replay, see if we can pick it out. You can see the lineman in your view here. Absolutely. You got right here. You get a number 50, ran a nice corner. Corbin Reed ran a corner route that time. Corbin, you're a center. A right guard. You cannot get down the field. And Staley gets hurt on that, so now they're really things are getting worse for Breckenridge's. Carter Staley. He's on the side.
Yeah, he was hit pretty hard by Nick Affolter.
Your starting quarterback's out. And this is, I bring in once again, I do that pooch kick right here. Try to flip the field, let your defense maybe get a turnover, work with the short field.
Unfortunately for Breckenridge, their punter is their quarterback too, Carter Staley. Ebright out of the pistol. He'll run it. Another one of the red jerseys in front of him. Presto tackled him. Breckenridge was moving the football. What hurt them was the self-induced penalty.
Yeah. He made some nice passes. Staley made some nice throws, and they go 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Right. Carter Staley back in. But he's going to punt this away. Midgard. Oh, what a play. What a play from Grant Willman. Shed through a block and still made the play.
Block in the back on her 10-yard penalty. Be first down.
The Bronx jeer come up from Breckenridge fans.
Touchdown Falcons! In the end zone with a huge play.
The MHSAA Championships starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow on Fox Sports Detroit.
Anyone can deliver a box. But when you consider the source, no matter how you get your groceries, only Kroger can bring you the fresh, delicious food and quality products you already know and love. So check out while you're chilling. Shop online today.
From way downtown.
Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit.
The dynamite dunk.
Where will you watch?
I don't know.
24-6, Reading in front as we make our way toward the end of the third quarter. The message is getting through to everybody. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, Multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website.
Big believer in that, Shep. That read you just did, 100%. You talk to college coaches. We do Eastern Michigan. As you know, we talk to Chris Creighton and a lot of his staff, and they are all behind kids being multi-sport athletes.
Yeah, talking with Chris Robinson, the head coach of Breckenridge, another flag on the play. He says the same thing.
Well, they're always competing.
Yeah.
You're always competing to win.
Getting better at something that's going to help you in another thing. Yeah. And quite honestly, when you coach him, you can relate to him a little better.
5-yard penalty, play first down. Okay.
This is getting to be something else here in the third quarter, isn't it? The amount of flags that are being thrown.
I'm just not seeing the false start. It must be, I don't know if they're turning up field too quick on the motions, if they're just jumping, they're flinching, if they're going on the second sound here or something, and the offensive line is. The first half had really good flow to it. They really moved along.
You're right.
This third quarter, this third quarter, because we're still in it, has gotten real choppy.
Well, let's face it. I mean, if you're going to be this good to get this far and go undefeated, you're not penalized very often. These two teams, a lot of character. Alex Price dragging a defender to the 19-yard line. And that defender, Logan Hurst, a gain of 8. Alex Price, a 4.0 GPA, third-year starter. Surprised he didn't hurt a lot of that tackler because he was an all-state qualifier in the low and high hurdles.
Well, in high school, if he hurdles him, guess what that is?
What is it?
It's a penalty. You cannot hurdle in high school. You hurdle a defender, it is a penalty. Correct, Coach Wenzel? You over there? Yep. You cannot. It's a safety issue thing.
He's going to throw it, but it was covered nicely, and he weaves his way for a gain of a few. And that should be it through the third quarter. Reading has themselves a comfortable lead as they head to the fourth. They possess the ball well. Their defense has risen to the occasion. It's a 24-6 lead in favor of the Rangers on Fox Sports Detroit.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
You ready, Darius?
Let's do it. Anybody want an autograph?
Autograph? We're here for the stuffed crust pizza.
Stuffed crust pizza? Hey, who do you think you are? End of the line, pal.
Flavor fanatics love stuffing their faces with our stuffed flavored crust. Get one for only $2 more on any large original round pizza.
Hungry? Howie's! 2 days only. Don't miss Menards' huge Black Friday sale. Doors open at 6 a.m. Friday. Hurry in for best selection. Get this 3-rack dishwasher for just $299 after rebate. This 1600 PSI pressure washer is $49.97. Keep your firearms secure with this 30-gun safe. $279 after rebate. This drone takes photos and video. Just $29.99. Save on these and many more 2-day deals. Now through Saturday during Menards' Black Friday sale.
Save big money at Menards.
You finally did it. You invited both sides of the family over. One table, 12 people. This could get interesting, but you can handle this. You were built for this. Ford Explorer, built for the holidays.
Now with Black Friday cash, current Easy Plan lessees can lease a 2018 Ford Explorer for only $219 a month for 24 months, with $22.69 due at signing.
Our Division VIII state championship game summary brought to you by Hungry Howie's. Ethan Lepresto has been as advertised. A kid who rushed for over 2,200 yards during the season. 14 carries, 117 yards in this one. But more impressively, the second and third quarter, he has 113 yards in just those 2 quarters. Started out rather slowly, but gained some momentum, and his offensive ground attack has been just that. 169 yards on the game. They average 422 per game. So, to a certain extent, Breckenridge has done a pretty nice job. On the other hand, Reading knows where its bread is buttered, and they're using Ethan Lepresto to their advantage. 3rd and 4 for them. Boy, trouble with the snap. Price dragged down inside the 15-yard line by Logan Hurst.
Well, people wonder why that's not a penalty. It's not a penalty because the ball was snapped. It's just about 4 or 5 of the linemen did not move. So as long as the ball is the first thing that moved, which it is, and you see the right tackle and right guard just sitting there, that's not a penalty. It just looks really ugly. It looks like, what is wrong with that play? And I guarantee Alex Price is not pleased that the right side of his line did not move.
So Caleb Miller will punt it away.
This gives him now. Get a little return here. Breckenridge gets a short field, get a quick score.
High snap, handled, and calmly gets it away to Lucas Ebright. He'll field it and go backwards. Good downfield coverage by Cole Boyd.
I like Lucas Ebright fielded at one hop. He got no yard, Shep, but if he doesn't catch it and he steps away from it, they're going to lose 10 to 15 with the roll. So he keeps him at midfield with the shorter field. Avoid the penalties, protect your queue a little bit, give Staley some time, and maybe you get some points here.
You saw Staley's numbers there moments ago on our game summary, and they're not bad numbers. And you're right. Look, he's proven. Give him time to throw, and he can spin it.
It's good to see him back out there.
Sure is. One of the many seniors on this team. These seniors have been playing together since they were in 6th grade. Has some time. Lofts it for Ebright. And incomplete.
Man, that was a great throw. He gave him an opportunity. He came open early, Ebright did. But as he was coming open, Staley was kind of being forced out of the pocket. Then when he finally located him and saw him, he kind of had to throw across his body. So let's watch this. He's going to drop back. He's breaking open throw, but now he's forced to move right. And he sees him late. He throws off his back foot a little bit. And still, it almost looks like it goes through his hands. We got a great look here. Yeah, that's a catchable ball. I mean, Ebright's got to come up with that. He knows it. And Staley knows it. But what a nice play by a quarterback under duress. You got to make those plays. I mean, somehow you got to find a way. You're struggling offensively. You just left a big play on the board.
Quick out throw, incomplete. Intended for Tyler Story. Second down and 10 now for Breckenridge. Make a 3rd down now for the Huskies. Has his open, and he's got it. Ebright. Well, that one was on the money, and a really nice pattern, too, run by Lucas Ebright, the senior.
Well, they run a double wheel with both sides. Which one we're going to take a look here, pause it. We're going to see inside, we can go left. Let it go. And now you see him going down the sidelines. They took the slot receiver and looped him down the side. They took the outside receiver and curled him at about 10 yards. And if the cornerback starts leaking in with the inside receiver, it opens up that sideline.
Well-designed play, huh?
It's a big, I mean, wheel routes are popular at all levels now. You see them in college, NFL, and high school. They've been popular in high school for years.
Staley still has it. There's just nothing up that middle, is there, Ribs?
Now, the big fellas in the red have taken up residence between the tackles, and they're not really being moved out of there. So I'm not sure what you're going to do. 44, Ben Affolter.
Would you go to the edge?
Well, we talked about him, but his brother Nick has played very well. There's a look at Big Nick. You're giving his brother Ben a lot of love because he plays in space a little bit more. Nick's down in the trenches.
Yeah.
But Damon Black, 54, I misspoke early in the game. He made a really nice play. Elijah Strine, we've called on offense, and Caleb Miller. They're just really good up front. Much better defensively than I thought I was going to see. I knew we were going to see a good offense, but defensively, this Reading Ranger team is sound.
And as you mentioned earlier, they're quick. They get to the outside, too.
4 receivers to the right.
Double stack on the right side. Staley's going to work the middle of the field, and it's going to be incomplete.
Just no time to set up in the pocket for Staley. We talk about pressure. When you know what teams are going to throw, it's so difficult. Nice stride. Look at Strine with a good swim move inside.
Yeah.
Gets pressure and just forces Carter Staley just to kind of throw it up for grabs. And, you know, if he throws a pick here, so be it. But you can't take a sack. You just got to throw it in the end zone. Hope one of you guys can make a play. You're 3rd down and 10. You're down 24-6 with just under 10 minutes. You got to try something here.
Yeah, it's 4-down territory.
Maybe roll him to the right here. Get him outside.
1 for 8 on 3rd downs. Across the middle. Caught. Touchdown. Hunter Collins.
I think Hunter Collins was the beneficiary. We're going to watch right here. Pause it. He's going to come right through the seam. You can go seam here, and this is going to hold this guy, and he doesn't get over quick enough, so let it go. The other seam, and then just the seed. That's just throwing it right down the middle of the field, out of trips. That's the same play I believe they might have scored on in the first half where they ran Collins on the seam.
And then the 2-point conversion is good.
Oh, we got a whole quarter remaining. That's what we talked about. That defensive stand, short field after the punt. Capitalized, we got a ball game.
They opened the game with a touchdown throw and catch from Carter Staley to Hunter Collins. And now they're on the board again to creep to within 10.
Do you hear that?
No.
It's quiet. Too quiet. Xfinity Home cameras.
Xfinity Home gives you an extra pair of eyes to help watch over your family. Plus, you have added peace of mind from 24/7 professional monitoring. Xfinity Home. Simple, easy, awesome.
You will love your Avis Ford because at Avis Ford, we make it easy to shop by phone. Looking for your no money down payment? Just give us a call because during our year-end closeout, you can lease a brand new 2018 Ford F-150 4x4 with no money down for only $275 a month. Only $275 a month. Shop online, shop by phone, or visit us on Telegraph at 12 Mile. Call 1-800-SHOP-FORD.
Stream Red Wings hockey all season long with the Fox Sports app.
Down to a 10-point lead for the Reading Rangers after Breckenridge scores, capping off a 6-play, 50-yard drive that took them just under a minute and a half. And Hunter Collins on the receiving end of that touchdown grab. And look, he and his quarterback, Carter Staley, they've worn out on a couple of tough years because they were up as freshmen. And it's paid off for him this year. But remember, this is a freshman class that went 0-9. They turned it around in 2016, went 9-1. Then last year, 10-2, winning districts before going 13-0 this season. Good strong kick. Scooped up at the 6 by Dawson Santur. MHSAA High School Football Finals on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by Baker College. Be more. Baker College brings you our Skycam on this weekend at Ford Field in downtown Detroit alongside Rob Rubik, Tori Petrie, our entire Fox Sports Detroit crew. I'm Matt Shepard. Thanks for joining us as a busy football week in Michigan continues.
Well, let's put our coach's hat back on. Now you're reading. You really want to pick up a first down. You're deep in your own end. Last time you were held here, you punted, let Breckenridge have a short field, and they were able to capitalize with a touchdown. So now you go back in, maybe get a little bit more aggressive with your play calling. Bring out your best plays in the run game.
LaPresto been really good all day long. This time dragged down. Good job getting to the edge by Carter Staley, the quarterback and outside linebacker.
This looks like it's going to be bounced, and Lepresto's going to get to the edge, and he's still down. This would be huge if he can't get back up. And Staley comes from his inside, and Lepresto with the speed grabs him by the jersey over the shoulder pad and whips him down for just a minimal gain of about 3 yards. But Lepresto's still on the ground. We'll get a closer look to see when he gets pulled by the jersey if anything's planted in the ground, if his ankle got twisted or his knee or hip. I'm not sure. It didn't look like anything was locked in place, Matt, and got anybody torqued.
I'm not going to speculate because that's one tough kid right there. And if he's hurt, you know it's got to be really painful. We'll check on his status when we come back.
There's no doubt that Sunday is the best day for football.
Drill. Nothing like Friday Night Lights.
How about Saturdays here?
For me, being myself is just something I really pride myself on. I never want to be somebody that I'm not. I'm not afraid to be myself.
The dynamite dunk.
Celebration is something that gets the crowd energized and my teammates as well too.
Andre follows. Gets Andre a jam.
It's more a spur of the moment. I kind of just do it. I don't really think about it or plan it. So I'm sure I have something new for you guys this year.
All right, this is always good news. Anytime you see an elite player get the chance to walk off a little bit, sure, granted, it's gingerly, but at least he's up under his own power, Ethan Lepresto. And Reading, and he's been a huge reason for their success, and you can see where Reading is right there as they head toward the west part of the state. Underneath there, right now, here's the Hillsdale and Breckenridge up just west of Saginaw before you get to the Mount Pleasant area in the west.
Reading down by Hillsdale. Hillsdale Chargers are still in the Division II football playoffs, as we talked about on Football Week in Michigan show, Tuesday show.
Yep, and Ferris State as well. So our best of luck to both those. There's a fumble, and it's recovered by Ben Affolter. He was the up back, and he was the one getting the football. Let's go to Tori Petrie on the sidelines. Tori?
Checked in on Ethan Lepresto on that injury. They said he just twisted his ankle a bit. It wasn't too bad. He should be back in this game.
All right, let's hope so. I want to see good players participate, no matter what.
Yep. Fumbles are never good, but if you're going to have one and you can recover it, that wasn't a bad one because you picked up 4 yards on the fumbles. The ball squirted ahead, and Ben Affolter, who was in the backfield, was able to jump on it.
Bounced up right back into his belt.
Look at this. They got a little I formation. Under center. Old slot left. You see a little ISO, leave a big 40. Oh, and they get him to jump. Wow, that's just...
Football foul, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That's great coaching, but you don't understand. You got to understand how hard that is as a coach to get your kids not to jump, to be able to go on two. I know many coaches will go on first sound or they go on one, because going on two to get 11 high school kids at the same time, not to go when it sounds so good, when you hear that hard count. So props also to Alex Price, who got him to draw and jump in the zone. Now you get you a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, people think coaching is all about X's and O's. Discipline is so very important that needs to be taught and re-energized every single day in practice. And Reading has done a pretty good job of that so far here today. Anthony Willoughby.
Well, you can see in our Fox box there, 8 minutes and counting now, Shep. Winding down. You're still down it's a two-possession game.
It's another reason that penalty was big.
Oh, you're going to eat. There's going to be another 2 to 3 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, the clock is as much Reading's friend as your teammate next to you right now.
Absolutely. And they're probably, a couple more first downs, some really putting this Breckenridge team behind the 8 ball. Now, Breckenridge, you have a good play on first down. You got them a second down and 8. No penalties. Play hard. Try to get them in a third and medium the long. And force their hand and you bring pressure for once.
A toss sweep to Willoughby. Cut it back up and gets a first down. Yak. Yards after contact, give him 10.
And you saw Willoughby, not the type of quickness we saw out of Presto, but a little more bang for your buck. Good job coming up by Grant Willman, but Willoughby was able to take him for a ride and move the sticks. A little bit different looking, wasn't it, than when you saw LaPresto run it throughout the course of the game with quickness and the speed. That time you saw a little bit more of the power.
Keep it on the ground. Midgard dancing his way. He's gone!
Hunter Midgard paid dividends. He did a lot of the dirty work, doing the blocking. It's just going to be right here, off tackle, little lead by Willoughby, and he cuts it back. And what happens is, when you get late in the game like this, the defense of Breckenridge is starting to sneak up. They're all sneaking up. So when you pop that second level, there's no third level guy you got to make miss. You come out of there clean, and Hunter Midgard takes it to the house.
$57 yards to pay dirt. And now Reading goes for yet another 2-point conversion.
A lot of full house tee. You see the three backs set right back here.
Toss sweep. And he's in.
A little bit longer. Trying to get to the edge of Willoughby than with LaPresto, but the same outcome.
An 18-point lead is reestablished on the second rushing touchdown by Hunter Midgard today.
Dear Dr. Narayan, I wanted to express my deep gratitude to you for the superior care I received while undergoing radiation therapy. Cancer is so scary. All I kept thinking was, am I going to live? Now I am 2 years cancer-free. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, Dr. Narayan.
I'm Warren Birkenhauer, proud IBEW member. My career began as a non-union electrician. I love the work, not the pay and the lack of benefits. When I joined the IBEW, my life changed. Now I earn great wages, benefits, and I'll be able to have a good retirement. I can take care of my family the way I want to, and that matters to me. The IBEW has made a huge difference in my life. If you're a good electrician looking to get paid what you're actually worth, then there's room for you in the IBEW.
What a day for the Reading Rangers. MHSAA High School football is brought to you in part by Menards, and it brings you the big money moment. And this big money moment, remember, it was 6-0 Breckenridge until this, right here.
Now this is the strip sack by Caleb Miller, and Strine's able to come up and recover it. As Coach Robinson said, as we had him coming out of the locker room in the second half, is, hey, may want to have that one back. But I guarantee he's made a lot of good calls this year through the course of the 13 games it took to get here.
Yeah, you don't get to this point by being a bad coach. Hunter Midgard capping off a very quick drive for the Rangers. They wanted to eat some clock, but look, when you get into the second and then down to the third level and there's nobody around, you take it to the house and you try to seal the deal. An 18-point lead reestablished now for Reading. Kick goes out of bounds. So if you're Breckenridge and you're Chris Robinson, you're preaching what? Quick scores, stop.
You just got to throw it up top. You got to take some chances. Tell your cue right now. I don't care We got a play design. You feel pressure. If there's a guy running with our receiver, man for man, you still got to throw it up, and our guy has to make a play because you can't dink and dunk. I mean, high school football.
Out of bounds on the kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. We have a first down.
In high school football, 6:40 goes quick. This isn't the NFL. This isn't college where you could have 3-4 possessions with each team. It goes pretty quick. Clock starts quickly. So you got to take your opportunities right now. Try to protect. That's going to be the hardest thing, to keep the big fellas. You get Black, Strine, Affolter, and Miller. Keep them off your quarterback. You can see a different looker. You see quads to the right. They want to try to go backside. And you see this a lot of times, get the receiver isolated on the bottom. The problem is it hasn't been there.
Staley chased from the pocket. He's got some room. There's a flag on the play, and he's drilled at the 49-yard line of Reading. The quarterback stays down.
Every time it seems like Breckenridge does something positive, it's getting brought back.
Yeah.
That time the hold, and maybe the hold allowed Staley to get outside the pocket. Get a look here. Let's see. Get a look. He's going to get it. He's going to roll out to the left.
First down.
Yeah. A little bit of a little grabby going on there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Logan Hurst a little bit might have been called with that. So in those ones, his positioning was pretty good. He had inside the shoulders, but once the play goes around you, you have to let go, because if you hang on, then you see the defender trying to pull away from you. You just have to let go. You know, Chef, I played 7 years in the league. I held every play, but I let go at the proper time.
At least you're honest. Collins out of the backfield. Cuts it up and spun around at about the 36-yard line.
With an injured Husky down, that's Staley again. He's been beaten up pretty good.
Sure has. But he has gutted it out, too.
This young man's playing both ways, let's not forget. You see that your
he's
quarterback.
He's lost a few LBs today, hasn't he?
Yeah. You get fatigued. You're more vulnerable to injury.
Yeah.
You look here. He dumps out. And that's a pat. Ooh, he doesn't get touched. He just like a hip flexor or something.
It might have come on the last play.
Yeah.
This is the quarterback scramble. That was the play prior to this one.
You see him coming down the sidelines.
And right
Takes
there.
a knee, you're right, to the left side, and he holds you. You see his hand go up there. Great job by the fellas in the truck seeing that and pointing it out in my ear, making me look smart. I appreciate it, because I did not see that on the previous play. And then that time he tries to play Shep, and all of a sudden the pain takes hold and no go.
We'll be back.
Gotta make it happen. Yeah, you do. You
Great day. We got football, baby.
You spoke my language right there. I'm going for a not go quietly into the night.
Was that the bacon? This team is different.
They're loaded on both sides of the ball. We've got celebrity guests one after the other.
And they call me a goat? I was thinking WWJD. What would Justin do?
Hey! We are with Carson Wentz, the Philadelphia Eagles.
What a way to start the day.
It's incredible. That's why we're the best.
Carter Staley able to walk off the field under his own power and getting a lot of congratulations and love from his teammates. Boy, his head coach loves him, man. Absolutely. You can understand why, but Chris Robinson told us early in the week, he babysits my kids. I trust him implicitly.
Well, you asked him the three things he really liked about him. He kept saying, great kid, great kid, great kid.
Saunders in at quarterback and completes. No, one was dropped. into the hands of Lucas Ebright for a moment.
It's a couple Lucas has had slide through his hands today. Is that Saunders that's still down?
No, that's Levi Warren.
Oh, yeah. Big fella gets rolled up and then rolled on. Well, that's nice to see him walking off under his own power. They got some big... we were on the field before the game, and you don't realize, you look at the one team, you talk to coach, and you go down the other end, and you had 3 of those linemen standing by each other. You saw Levi Warren and Hunter Smith, Corbin Reed. Man, that's some good-looking bodies. Now, this is Division 8. This isn't De La Salle. This isn't Muskegon or Chip Valley.
Right.
This is a Division 8 town with limited people, limited resources, 1,000 people in the town, yet they got some really good-looking bodies. That tributes to the weight program they have.
Sure is. Nice job handling the snap by Luke Saunders, but the inside give was wrapped up right away. Nick Affolter, another tackle. He's been an immovable force for Reading inside. That's his 6th tackle of the day.
They're juniors, by the way.
The Affolters, yes. Yeah, they are.
They are juniors, Nick and Ben. I asked Coach, I said, are they identical twins? He goes, I don't know. I said, what do they look like? I mean, exactly. They're identical twins are going to look like.
I don't know.
He said the one's like 300, the other's 275. Well, one eats more, but doesn't mean they're not identical twins. Wouldn't you know? I mean, I'm sorry. I teach school. I know what
Carter Staley is back in at quarterback on a 4th down play. He's going to dump it off. And Collins made a nice catch, a flag on the play. But usually on those types of screen plays, it's ineligible man downfield. Let's see what the call is.
That's exactly what it's going to be, and I think they're going to get Hunter Smith. They had actually a couple of those offensive linemen were 8 to 10 yards down the field.
Holding here.
Oh.
Okay, red.
I'm mistaken, but we get to look at the replay. I could.
On the offense, that penalties decline. Will be first down the other way.
Yeah, Reading takes over after the completed pass. And Division 2 is up next. Warren De La Salle, the defending champions. Muskegon Mona Shores is here. And they're getting primed and fired up and ready to roll here on the biggest stage of their young football careers.
This is going to be a dandy. You got Josh DeBerry, the outstanding two-way player for De La Salle. You got Boersma, the quarterback for... And you got Sincere Dent, the running back for Mona Shores. You got James Gilbert, the wide. They got some dudes now. They got some dudes.
Ethan Lepresto is back in for Reading. He wears 20 in red.
It's a tease, that's all.
He'll get the carry, break a tackle, and get some more positive yards. That's his 16th carry of the day. He's almost at $1.25 against a defense coming into today. It surrendered just 4 points per game. And yet somehow, some way, Reading has been able to get that ground game going and defensively feed off one another to put them in a prime spot for their first ever state championship.
We have given a lot of love today to Alex Price, the quarterback, because you look at it, he really has been mostly a game manager as far as handing the ball. Though he did get the one, was it a touchdown or the 2-point conversion where he kept it and went around the edge. He's run it a couple of times when he's had to throw. He's done a nice job, been accurate. But he's not turning the ball over, Shep. As a quarterback, when you touch it this many times at this level, it's a very precarious position. You put yourself in a lot of times with high snaps, low snaps.
Well, there's something to be said, too. And look, you played with some really good quarterbacks. Gary Danielson's a good friend of yours. You were in the huddle with him, of calming your team down, number one. And number two, waiting for the right time to snap the football, getting guys in the right positions. There are things about quote-unquote game management that we don't always recognize. It's not always about turning and handing the ball off.
Now, at this level, they're not called upon to call protections, which you'd see in the NFL. But at this level, they are called to look down, make sure they have the right number of people, make sure we're covered on the line, and make sure your back is in the right place, which way you're running. Because a lot of times the backs will line up on the wrong side. So there are a lot of things you do, and he's done them all well today because you haven't seen those miscues.
Reading 2 for 6 on third downs today. He's going to keep it. He's got the edge. Got to make a man miss. And he's going to shove his way for a first down run.
That's one of those plays. Nice job on the naked boot where they do the play action side. He kind of puts on his hip. He gets outside. Then after that, he's just like, I'm 6'2", 190-pound senior. After this ball fake, and coming up is Ebright, number 5, who's 5'6", 160-pound senior. Bigger bodies win sometimes. That's just a big stiff arm. Give him a little high step and move the chains once again. Get that clock 3:18. They'll start once they put the ball back in play. Gritty performance by the Huskies at Breckenridge, but just too much red. Too many plays offensively, too many guys defensively. Just this team of Reading coming in. We knew it when we saw that they beat Ottawa Lake Whiteford. We knew they were loaded.
Yeah. No question they've earned it. Nice run by Anthony Willoughby. Garrett Fitzgerald in on the tackle. Check out what the coaches and players are saying after the game. Punch up MHSAA.tv for live coverage of the press conferences from this game. Gritty effort by Carter Staley, both as a quarterback and an outside linebacker. So Reading team hit the weight room. Typically, Coach Rick Bailey told us they had about 3 kids bench 2 1/4. This year they had 14 kids do it in the summer workouts. Running out of bounds there is Zach Keegan, backup tailback. When he told me that earlier in the week, he said, oh, I got to remind you, by the way, Chef, on Monday we had a sophomore do it, so make it 15 guys. Make sure you know that it's 15 guys hitting that weight room and putting on a couple of plates each side.
Yeah, and he's hanging a carrot in front of those other players that haven't got there. He's telling them, hey, this is what our expectations are, and this is where we're at. If we're going to continue and sustain this program that we have started now with, looks like it can be the first state championship, we need to put people in the weight room. Not in the summertime, but in the wintertime. Wrestle, play another sport, but if not, we need you in the weight room.
Right up the gut. Strine, he wants more. He's got more.
Spreading the love a little bit right now. Coach Bailey getting a lot of people the ball, a lot of touches. This is just a little fullback trap inside. Strine does the rest, and it's a defensive front that has fought very valiantly today. But they're just getting worn down now. And the bigger bodies in the red have started to really take their toll. And I'm not an impose your will guy. I'm an impose bigger body guy. Bigger bodies naturally over time, if they're good footwork, good players, will start to win.
Aaron Bignell on to kick the extra point. And he connects. And look at how happy they are for that young man. Good for him. Good for the Reading Rangers. Another quick drive by Reading. And it pays off. And they now lead it by 25. The most points Breckenridge had surrendered all season long came in week 1 when Beaverton scored 19 on them. That's it, 19.
Well, looking back at this game, when Breckenridge closed it to a 2-possession game late in the third quarter, and an opportunity to get a stop, they had them penned up pretty deep. And like all good championship teams, Reading was able to pick up a first down, and then they popped the long run. Was it Midgar who popped 3?
Yes,
yeah, Midgar popped 3 for the long run, and then you could just see the energy kind of gets deflated there, and then now they add another touchdown onto that. But this score will not be indicative of how close this game, how tough this game was.
Tough it was, yeah.
Coach Bailey will tell you that this was a very good football team. He knew coming in, I think he believed that if they could not turn the ball over and keep pounding, that in the third and fourth quarter they'd have more success, and they're able to do that here today.
Kind of wear you down a little bit, but it is an interesting perspective that Breckenridge's defense allowed just 49 points all season long, and that includes the playoffs, by the way, folks. until today, when Reading scored 39 on him. Good return by Hunter Collins, striving his way to the 47-yard line. Love the effort by a kid who's got a couple of touchdowns in what will be his final high school game of his career.
From cornfields to Ford Field.
I like it. Creative.
True. You've been off M46 there where Breckenridge is, and way over to US 27 by Mount Pleasant. It is a lot of cornfields. Remember, as Corey Schlesinger once said, look at all these cornfields. I said, what do you see? Look out there. Corey goes, money.
I thought he might say home.
Well, that.
Yeah. Shovel pass to Lucas Ebright. Break through one tackle. Up at the Reading 45. I suppose Breckenridge can take a little bit of solace in this. They are just the 4th team to score more than 1 touchdown against the Reading defense. We bragged a lot, and rightfully so, about Breckenridge's D. Well, Reading's defense has been pretty spectacular all season long.
Yeah, and some of those points they gave up, Shep, that Reading gave up during the year were late mop-up points in the game where they had 2s in the game and so forth.
And today, remember, the first touchdown was a short field. Reading went for it on 4th and 4 and couldn't convert. Staley down the middle of the field. And what a grab! Brennan Wazlewski got turned around and somehow hauled it in.
There's a one-handed grab. He got kind of twisted. As the ball was thrown, he's going to be on the right side. He's going to release down the middle of the field from the far edge, and it's behind him. That's a left-handed, too.
Beautiful grab.
That's a great play because he opens up, uses his non-dominant hand. I know it's non-dominant because once he catches it, he puts it in his right hand. Big Nub finally drops him. Ball comes out when it hits the ground, which is a dead ball. And they'll get 1st and goal on the 1.
What a catch. What an effort by Breckenridge. Still fighting with 1:04 and counting.
We get a chance. Their crowd is really behind him, too.
Love the support. Collins, 3rd touchdown of the day. They're fighters.
It's a great look at the crowd, and it's just not in this play. Any play they've made here in the 4th quarter, even though the game has pretty much not been very much doubt. They've been up cheering and supporting, and that's what I see. You know, you come here on a Sunday, once the Lions get down, people start to zerk quick. That's what I love about high school football. This is just a straight ahead. It's just a straight ahead dive, and Collins able to get in the end zone.
Fumbled, picked it back up, and shy of the 2-point conversion. .21, though, is responsible for 18 of the points for Breckenridge today. Been dynamite. Something on which you can build, right, Rubes? Everybody learns from these experiences. Your players, your alumni, your fan base, and your coaching staff.
It's a great point, Shep, and you build on something like this. You don't want to be a one and done. You want to start a program. We saw that with Terry Hesbrook at Ithaca for all those years. When he finally got here, he won a championship. He was able to get the community behind, and he had some good classes coming through, and he created a program, and that's what you would like to see from Reading. And Reading's been good. Now, Reading's been in, I don't know, they won or lost. They've been to the finals before. They've been in the playoffs. They've gotten deep. They've always had a few Achilles heels. They ran into Mendon for a lot of those years, a powerful program, and they weren't able to move on. So now they've gotten over the hump. Let's see what that man right there, Coach Bailey, can do to keep this rolling.
Staley will kick it away. That's a good point, Rubes. I mean, it's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
The way you build a winning atmosphere and attitude, it has to start somewhere. You mentioned Menden, one of the premier programs in the state of Michigan.
Coach Schwartz had him for years. Coming here. And we see in the other divisions, we're going to have Mona Shores and De La Salle. We've called their names many times in the state championship games.
No going down for Nick Affolter. I get a chance to carry the football, I'm carrying it, man.
I'm tired of those guys in the booths talk what an athlete my brother is. I'm going to give me a little something here.
Carrying that like a loaf of bread. He's used to eating those loaves. Going to eat well today, huh?
Oh. Get a lot of guys that we haven't called their names into the game right now. I see number 72, Isaac Reynolds in the game. Number 70 also, Josh Wentworth.
That's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you get those kids to say, I played in a state championship game. No one's taking that away from you.
Actually, Isaac Reynolds been in the game. I mean, he was coming out of the game.
Yeah, he's had some nice
other numbers
kick-out
in
blocks.
the game.
Yeah.
That's where you've seen coaches in the past take timeouts just to get their personnel set. This is the take the knee victory formation.
Rick Bailey told us he's had alumni calling him from Florida, Texas. A police officer in Hawaii called him. And you know what? Coaches in every sport around the Big 8 Conference have called him all week long and texted him to wish him congratulations and talk about the pride that they have for their conference and their school.
I think Coach Robinson called a timeout. Even though clock is winding down, I think he probably wanted to get any seniors, probably ask him right now who hasn't been in the game. Now, they don't have a lot on their bench, so if you haven't been in the game, this is an opportunity. Maybe also tell them, hey, we won with class, let's lose with class. So also gives reading a time to kind of celebrate their fans before the end of the game. You know, like we were talking about, you want to build a program, you want to come back, you don't want to make this a one and done. But in the same sense, it's a difficult thing. If you don't get back here, you have some sophomores and freshmen and younger kids on your team. It's nice that they can get out on the field in actual game action and say they played in the state championship game.
That's it. And Reading is a state champion for the first time in school history. What a story to tell. A historic Friday in downtown Detroit for the Reading Rangers. That's it from Ford Field. Reading beats Breckenridge 39-20. Coming up next, it's the Division II final as Warren De La Salle takes on Muskegon Mona Shores. For Rob Rubik, Tori Petrie, our entire Fox Sports Detroit crew, I'm Matt Shepard saying so long. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again back here at Ford Field and on these airwaves at 1:15 for the Division II state championship game.
There's certain guys we say in the locker room, they're going to ball till they fall.
As a journalist, I try to be ahead of the conversation.
You're trying to zig